morning.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Man, we look green
Friday.
as fuck.
Well, I know, but the
hell
light
did
is
that
fucked up. I don't know why it's different.
Looking like Martians.
I thought I fixed it.
Yeah, we're...
Okay, that's not right.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's all right. Keep going.
That's blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that? There's a damn...
That's probably
That's okay. What happened to the thing that...
I don't know.
You
said the power went out.
You think that destroyed it?
Well, I don't know, because I turned it back. I turned it on, and it was bright white, and I was like, that's not how I left it.
Do you...
And usually... Well, no, because... No.
Okay, I see what it's doing.
No, you're going to have to do that. Yeah, see? Because that's... There it is.
There it is. Okay.
That was the one we had before.
Yeah. That makes sense. That looks a little bit better.
The little sparkly candy one.
Yeah, candy. We got a storm out there, man. It's fucking... It's come down. It was coming down for pretty much all day. I got trapped over at Starbucks.
I had to drive through a fucking storm in between Daytona and DeLand, and I couldn't see the road.
Yeah. If we lose the stream, then you guys know why.
It was terrifying.
But it's the fucking lightning going on out there and everything.
Yeah.
But it's Friday, and we're gonna usher you into the weekend with a drink and any kind of stories
or several drinks, maybe.
Looks like people are starting to...
Because I don't have to get up in the morning, which is nice.
Looks like people are filtering in.
Yeah.
They're coming in 2 by 2.
Just like Noah's Ark.
Yeah, like Noah's Ark. Tammy's in there. What's up, Tammy? Perspective Collective's there. He just got done watching Fuck the Devil. And Fuck the Devil 2.
Return of the Fucker.
Return of the Fucker. All right. Ben's in there.
I'm going to have to see that, I'm afraid.
Zach's there. See what Zach's up to. How does Pookie like the storm? She doesn't. They don't bother her that much. She knows what storm is. She doesn't like 4th of July.
Yeah, she was real upset on 4th of July. Mm-hmm. She just went right into the bed, and Tom tried to get her out, and she's like, "Nope, not having it."
Yep, hid underneath the bed, and was wherever I was on top of the bed. She was directly underneath me, hiding under me. She's like, if one of them fucking bombs comes through the window, it's gonna get Daddy. Yeah,
I will be safe.
Yeah, he'll absorb the blast.
See,
that's what she's thinking.
She's really smart.
She's not dumb.
She's not
trying
dumb at all.
To put me in between her and the bombs.
Yeah, see, like I said, she's not dumb at all. She's not dumb at all.
I tried to show her. I let her look outside the window and saw the fireworks. She's like, nope.
She's like, now it's even scarier. Now I'm even more scared.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because I told her, I was like, well, I told Tom, I'm like, don't do that because that's just gonna stress her out, and she doesn't understand.
Well, I thought she would see that it's far away.
Right.
But
to her, I mean, it probably looked like even scarier because she didn't know what it was.
Yeah. UFOs.
Yeah. When I came home from work, I saw Beijing skulking around up here.
Yeah.
She doesn't usually come up here.
They were getting along.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought it was funny because I saw like a little shadow and I was like, hey, it's Beijing. She doesn't usually come upstairs. And then she like looked down and Pookie was like down on the stair landing and they were like looking at each other like Beijing was up here and Pookie was down there like looking at each other. And I'm like, uh-oh, there's going to be a kitty rumble. Yeah. But I guess not.
Bee's Nest is here, also known as Murder Hornet.
Yeah, we're still calling y'all by like your old screen names. I don't know how I would remember like weird screen names. That's why I always just kind of like use my regular name for stuff.
Well, I know his real name.
Yeah. I
know his real name. So, you know.
Well,
so I know all his handles.
You know all the special secret information.
His real name's Keith.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. I know. We shouldn't have told anybody. He didn't tell you. He didn't say.
Well, they're gonna find you now.
Oh shit. Yeah, maybe that's why people use I don't know. Like I said, I would never remember. Bad enough I can't remember all the fucking passwords for the 40 million sites I have.
Yeah.
Much less weird names too. But yeah, so what's everybody doing today? Nothing too exciting going on. At least not here, just regular shit, right? I mean, I've just been at work all day today, and it was really boring.
Yeah. It was just another boring. It was a boring day today.
It's another boring day.
Worked on the bike today. Everything checked out. I got stranded last week. They had to come get me. Battery died.
Yeah.
And it's a lithium-ion battery. It's a Ciarra racing battery. It only weighs like 2 pounds. And you can't jump those. You need a computer to recharge it, a little computerized charger. But I'd had that battery for 5 or 6 years. So I got my money's worth out of that thing. That thing was $200-something, that battery. But the bike was so light, the only way I could have lost 10 pounds was like $5,000 worth of damn carbon fiber or something, you know. Well, it's cheaper just to do $200 in fucking lithium-ion battery. You get a lot of weight savings. And that thing lasted a long time. I'll get another one, but I got a lead battery in there now. Doesn't really make a big difference, that much weight, you know. Not with what I'm doing. I'm not racing or anything. And having a lead battery that you can charge on hand, that's good to have. I'll probably get another Ciarra eventually, put it in there. Maybe get it for Christmas or something. But it's not absolutely necessary. I'm gonna go back to lead for a while and see if there was a difference in the way that it rides. And then I didn't know that I had to check my stator output, voltage regulator. It all checked out. It was just a bad battery, or seemingly so. It should be good. It's charging at 12.47 volts, which as long as it's over 12 volts, it should be okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
So yeah, it's a Harley Sportster style engine. So
Zach says, Jenny, number 1 book you'd like to see as a movie? Probably Drood by Dan Simmons. I think that would make a great fucking movie. I don't know if like people would go see it, but I would want to see it. I did a review of the book like not too long ago, I think, but it was the one that was Charles Dickens and Wilkie Collins like trying to find this creepy dude with no nose. You know what I mean? Like this scary dude that was like at a train wreck. But yeah, it's really good. It's like historical fiction, but it's also kind of like horror. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, they made that other Dan Simmons thing into it, like The Terror. They made that into a series. So it's like I was like, why don't they make Drood into a series? I would watch it.
Camp guy said he made onion pakoras. Pakoras are good.
Ooh, yummy.
It's like shredded. It's an Indian dish. You just take vegetables of certain kinds and kind of shred them, and you batter them and fry them in like these little balls. It's almost like a vegetable hush puppy, like an Indian vegetable hush puppy. They're pretty good.
Man, that sounds good.
Yeah, I only made those once, a long time ago.
Tom made calzone.
Calzone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I made the cheese.
Yeah, he made
the
ricotta.
Yeah. Made it in the Instapot. I had a half a gallon of spoiled milk.
Yeah.
It went sour. I said, what can I do for this? And looked and says, you can make cream. You can make cottage cheese, paneer, or ricotta out of it. So I made ricotta. It came out fucking great.
Yeah, it's really good.
And you just cook it with a little bit of lemon juice. And then you got to strain it. And then you'll have you'll have the cheese and the whey. It's fluid. I kept that too. And when I made the crust, instead of using water, I used the whey. And it made a big difference in the crust.
It did,
good. Yeah, real good. And I still got some of that whey left. And there's protein in there, so you might as well just use it. So I got that in the refrigerator in a glass jar. And I'm going to make some more. But I looked at the price. That was just that cheap dollar store milk. It's only like $3 and something cents a gallon, and a half a gallon, so it's like $1.70 worth of milk made about $4 or $5 worth of ricotta cheese.
Yeah.
So yeah, making it yourself is a lot more economical.
Yeah, I had totally forgotten that you can make all that shit in the Instant Pot.
Yeah.
You can make paneer in there. You can make yogurt in there. You can make all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's got settings for it.
So yeah, it was like good.
Didn't take long either. It was easy.
And see, that was something you would have just thrown away.
I would have just thrown it away. I was like, man, I'd fucking turn that shit into fucking ricotta.
See, I always like that. I always like when you can find ways to like use shit.
And the milk doesn't have to be sour. It can be fresh milk. It's just that they said if the milk goes sour, don't throw it away.
Right.
Turn it into cheese or yogurt.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. It worked great.
It really did. I mean,
yeah, it's fucking delicious.
Those calzones came out really good. Yeah.
Yeah. You could also make mozzarella out of spoiled milk.
Yeah.
Thing is, I needed ricotta, so I had mozzarella.
Yeah. Oscar said, I saw a field in England the other day, Jenny. It was pretty good, albeit kind of pointless. Yeah, it's one of those movies that I kind of feel like I really liked it, but I kind of feel like you're either going to really, really like it or you're really, really not going to like it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a weird fucking movie, that's for sure.
What's up, Oscar? How you doing, Paradise?
And Subjective Perspective Collective says, I'm hearing people are let down by the new Insidious. Yeah, I mean, one of y'all asked, I think, that maybe we should cover all the Insidious movies one of these days, which I think I've only seen the first 2, because there's more than that, right? Aren't there 3 or 4 of them at this point? Or maybe 5? I remember really liking the first one and the second one being okay. I don't think Tom's ever seen them.
No, I've never seen them.
You might like them, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. I'll give anything a chance.
Yeah. Like I said, we did actually watch Megan, and we really liked that. Tom really liked that.
Yeah, Megan was awesome. It was great writing.
Yeah.
Great writing.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. I had a good time with that.
Yeah, and it was kind of like an old... To me, it was like a classic horror kind of sci-fi type movie. It was kind of traditional in a lot of ways. I thought it was great. It's like something that they would have made, I don't know, in the 80s or the 90s. But the technology, special effects were really good. The writing was really good. And that's kind of how I picture AI being. If you had AI and you programmed it like that, it's probably how it would be.
Yeah, it would probably go terribly sideways.
Yeah.
Just like in that movie.
Yeah, it's about this woman that's works for a toy company, does robotics. And she had this experimental toy, but the company wasn't interested in it because it fucked up.
And it would have been too expensive.
It would have been
for
too
the
expensive.
Consumer market, probably too.
Well, her sister and her husband got killed in a car wreck, or was it the brother? Anyway, she inherited her niece. She had to take care of her. She's like a 9-year-old girl. So she brings that robot out that she built and completed it and made it as a companion for her. It had AI and everything. And it was so good, she showed it to the company. And the company wanted to make them. But in the meantime, it was living with the girl, and it bent over backwards to protect that girl. It was killing dogs and killing people and coming up with solutions to things. And the robot was a robot of like a 10-year-old girl. And it was just like this pretty little kind of Alice in Wonderland looking fucking robot. Looks like a living doll. And it was funny because it looked, in general, it looked kind of innocent, kind of harmless and just kind of cute. But there was something real kind of sinister about it, especially as it started to go sideways. And then eventually, it showed you what a robot could actually do. And she could fucking run faster than a dog on all fours and track people down and do all kinds of cool shit. She could fight.
Yeah, I love that scene where she tore that kid's ear off. That was pretty awesome. But yeah,
she'd start dancing with blades, dancing and doing like acrobatics, and then just run up walls and jump off things and cut people's heads off.
But
kind of like a slasher flick.
I mean, you can see, and it's crazy because it was only PG-13, but that just goes to show that you can actually make a horror movie that's PG-13 that's still good.
Yeah.
Like without.
See what I thought that the thing was going to be basically Chucky. That's what I was expecting. I was like, this could be like a Chucky movie. No, it was a lot better than that.
Yeah, I really liked it, and like I said, I can see why it got like rapturous reviews all over the place.
It had really good writing. It was well thought out.
And I'm pretty sure also that Renfield is on Peacock now. Mm-hmm. And I really want to see that. That looks fucking amazing. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll watch that this weekend. That's the thing. We wouldn't have normally watched this many movies. So now I'm going to have to decide which one we're going to talk about on Sunday. We could either do Megan, or last night we watched Dreamscape from 1984. So we might do that. Or if we watch Renfield this weekend, we might do that one.
Oscar's in there, says, "What's up, Tom? Misty left me." So you're making that public, huh?
Well,
she left you, so you go back there and go get her, probably.
Well,
you gotta commit, bitch. You're not committing.
Is that what the issue is?
Yeah.
I don't really.
I was going to say that because that's usually what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not always, but yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Zach says, I rewatched The Changeling recently, and that would probably be considered PG-13 these days. Yeah, it probably would, because nothing real gory or anything happens in that movie. Like, what is The Changeling rated PG?
Changeling. Which one was The Changeling?
The one with George C. Scott?
Oh,
The Ghost Story, the really good one.
Yeah, probably
from
PG.
81.
Probably PG. I don't think there's any gore in it. That I can remember.
Yeah, it's not gory. It's like a ghost story.
I don't even think there's any cussing in that.
Yeah, now I'm trying to think.
George C. Scott probably says "damn" in it.
Yeah,
so it's probably
scandalous. I mean, it's got like upsetting themes. I think they show like a kid being drowned and shit like that. But it's like, it's not super bloody or anything. But yeah, I kind of feel like a lot of movies back then probably. Well, PG-13 didn't come around until the 80s, right? The mid 80s.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I was just reading about Dreamscape earlier, and I think that might have been only the second movie to get a PG-13 rating. I think the first one was Red Dawn, actually. But so that was 84. Yeah. Did we do a review of Red Dawn? I remember we watched it a couple years ago.
I don't think we did. Red Dawn is like
I remember watching it, but I don't remember us reviewing it.
That's my least favorite movie by my favorite director.
Yeah.
Fucking, what's his name? Not Oliver Stone. The other guy. Fucking shit. My fucking brain's not working. What's that dude's name again?
I know that feeling.
Guy did Conan.
Who? John Milius?
John Milius. Yeah.
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 Speaking of which, we still haven't watched the rest of Rome.
Yeah.
When did I buy you that? I bought you that series like for Christmas like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We haven't finished watching it yet.
We never finished the second season. I think we started the second season, but we don't.
Yeah.
We didn't get very far.
That's the thing. It's like we just get because I'll watch movies and stuff like that, and I try to watch series too. But it's like sometimes I'll watch like a few episodes, and I'm like, oh man, that was really good. But then for whatever reason, I end up watching other things, and like I just never get back to it. Subjective Perspective says Dreamscape is great. I remember watching it on VHS as a double feature with Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, because I kind of feel like they both came out in 1984, which is crazy, and they're not similar movies because I wouldn't necessarily call Dreamscape a horror movie, but they have very similar themes, as in like being able to manipulate the real world like through dreams. You know what I mean? Which is weird that they both came out like the same time. Because there's no way that one could have ripped off the other one, because I think they were in production at the same time. Yeah, Oscar said, yeah, haha, commitment issues on my part.
Yeah, I figured. You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back.
Yeah.
How you gonna resist that redhead, man? Come on. You guys both got kids and everything. Come on. You'll be back.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
What are you gonna do, dude?
Ben,
although maybe you didn't get along. We thought she was cool.
Yeah,
from what we could see.
Yeah. Ooh, thunder. Ben says, not the Angelina Jolie one with the axe murders of children, the Wineville chicken coop murders. No, that one was just called Changeling, but that's also a good movie, but it's like completely different. Yeah, that was like based on a true story, and it's not supernatural. We were talking about the one from 1981 with George C. Scott. That's like a creepy ghost story. Zach says, I really didn't find Changeling very scary, but I was super into the mystery part of it. I wish more paranormal stories had like detective elements.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah, I really do I tend to like ghost stories that are also murder mysteries. You know what I mean? I think that's why I really liked like Stir of Echoes and The Ring and shit like that, because it has like a murder mystery detective kind of element to it, and I'm really, really into that.
There's some old sleepers from around that time that I liked too. I was really into The Legacy, and I don't think a lot of people liked that one, but I liked it.
I liked it too.
Yeah, and it was just about some chick that gets called to England to, I guess she was going to observe the passing of some real rich guy, and he was going to hand out his inheritance.
Yeah.
I don't remember why she got invited. I don't think she knew why she got invited.
No, she didn't. Not at first.
Yeah, when she got there, was all these freakazoid people that were super rich in this big old mansion. some of them were rock stars, and
like
some of
Roger
them were,
Daltrey. He was in that shit.
All and one by one they all start dying. It turns out they're all satanic witches, and they have fucking real powers. And before the old guy that's gonna die, he's like a head warlock. It's pretty cool, and he's killing them off for different reasons, using his powers. And then he plans to hand his fucking legacy over to the survivor to give his powers away before he dies. It's a pretty good flick. I liked it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit underrated.
Yeah. It was kind of like The Changeling. There was kind of a mystery.
Yeah, not as creepy.
Not as creepy, right.
But it did have supernatural elements. And it had Catherine Ross in it, who was also in the Stepford Wives. And it had Sam Elliott. Mm-hmm. A very young Sam Elliott.
That's right.
Which is crazy when that just reminded me, because we were watching Dreamscape last night. I hadn't seen Dreamscape in like a million years. And so I had forgotten. I remember Dennis Quaid being in it, obviously, because he's like the star. But I had totally forgotten Max von Sydow was in that. And like when we were watching it, Tom was like, "Was Max von Sydow always old?"
Yeah. He was young.
And I was like, well, I mean, he was in like a bunch of Ingmar Bergman movies, like back in the 60s and stuff like that, like Hour of the Wolf and whatnot. And I was like, he didn't look old back then, but he also didn't look all that young. He was just one of those dudes that always looked like a cool old man, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sort of.
One of the things I liked about The Legacy, though, was the special effects. They were practical effects, and the way they showed magical powers and sorcery was just through edit. Like, remember they tried to leave? Like, fuck it, these people are nuts. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And they get in the car and they leave. And they drove there, but they couldn't drive out.
Yeah.
Every path that they took through the roads led back to that
house.
house.
I love that kind of shit.
And they're like, how is this possible? There's no road out of here. We drove here. You know? And that was... The whole movie's like that. One dude drowns in the pool because... It was a woman. Drowned in the pool because she couldn't break the surface tension on the water. She couldn't get out of the water. That was weird. It was like it was solid.
Yeah. So there's all kind of witchcraft shenanigans.
Witchcraft shenanigans happening. Dude's choking on bones that it couldn't have been a bone. He was eating pork, but it was a fucking turkey bone or a chicken bone in it.
Yeah,
he was eating pork.
Bone.
Yeah, it's like a weird shit. Yeah.
It's like, why does this pig have chicken bones?
Yeah.
Ben says PG-24 was for TV or cinema. I'm not really sure what PG-24 is.
That must be some British shit.
Well, I don't know. Ben's Australian, isn't he?
Oh, okay.
All right, you're Australian, right? We have G, which is general audiences. That's anybody can see it. That's usually kids' movies. Then you have PG, which is just, what's that? Stands for parental guidance, right? Then there's PG-13, which is like a PG, but like slightly maybe more stuff. So you have to be like over 13 before you see it. And then there's just R. Oh, and also there's NC-17. But not a lot of movies get rated NC-17 anymore. I think because there was kind of a stigma about it where a lot of theaters wouldn't show them and a lot of retailers wouldn't sell them like when they came out on DVD or Blu-ray. So a lot of times, like for example, it's different nowadays, but for example, Infinity Pool, which we just talked about, the original cut, the director's cut, was actually rated NC-17, but they cut a few things out like to get an R. But then they can release like another unrated version, which is what they've done, because the version we watched, which was on Hulu, was the R-rated version. But if you go to YouTube and rent it, it's the NC-17 one. But I think all they took out was just a couple more like explicit sexual shots, pretty much. I think that was all they took out, at least from what I could determine. Gramthars said, took my kids to see the new Indiana Jones. You have big waste of time and money.
Yeah.
What I heard, I hadn't really watched that many things of it. I just heard people talking about it. Some people said, well, it was okay, but it was like better than Crystal Skull, but
that's not good enough.
But well, like I said, Crystal Skull wasn't great, so.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I don't really care. But what is interesting is just the trouble that Disney Corporation is in. That movie is super, super expensive, and they've just had nothing but a long string of flops. And that movie, they reshot that thing over and over again, and they added new endings on it. For that movie to make any money, I think even to break even, it was so incredible. It had to make $1 billion. So that was a loser to begin with.
See, like I said, I always just think
you're really too much fucking
You're really
money.
shooting yourself in the dick, like making these big, like tentpole kind of movies. Like other than Marvel, that'll probably they usually make like lots of money, but
not anymore.
Well, the thing about it is, it's probably better now to go the route of like like lesser.
They should be cheap,
like less expensive films. Much easier to make your money back.
The market isn't there anymore. I've been watching programs all past 2 or 3 days. Just watch Midnight's Edge. They have insiders and creative people just trying to analyze what the fuck's going on in the market. And just what it is that the market isn't there anymore. They don't really make these movies for people that go to movies. They try to bring them to younger audiences, and younger audiences don't give a shit about them. Then they piss off the older audiences that would go to see it. These are movies made by committees. And whenever that happens, you're not going to have any art. The originals of all these movies that they are copying, like the first Indiana Jones, was a work of fucking art. Okay, that's why that movie was so good. It wasn't some formula. So you can't do that again if you're going to do it through a formulaic thing. And this is how short-sighted they are. They're scared to death of unknowns. So they can't make any original material. They would rather make something in some kind of a box, some kind of sequel, some kind of add-on to another movie, because they can supposedly, in the past, they were able to predict how much money it would make, so they knew how much to spend. But corruption in there and greed got so bad that they're handing out all this fucking money, shareholders' money, to all their friends to make this movie, and they don't really care whether or not it makes its money back or any profit. They'd just rather just run Disney into the ground. The shareholders will fucking take it's not their money. All that shit's coming to an end. There are insiders leaking shit inside Disney headquarters. They say the place is pandemonium. Shit ton of people have been fired. Big names are their heads are going to roll because they're not even making much money at the parks right now. Like an all-time low the past 10 years. And if you look at Disney Orlando here, Disney World, that park sucks compared to fucking Universal. Universal just blows it out of the fucking water. They're just not the king of the hill anymore, man. They're just a tired old fucking what's a good bureaucracy, really. And they just can't survive. I believe they're going to sell huge pieces of themselves off. They're probably going to sell Star Wars. Probably going to sell Marvel stuff off. They shouldn't. They can't make movies. They've proven it. They can't make them. They nothing but bombs like 2 or 3 years in a row. The talent's not there. You can't make movies by committees. Not anymore.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is that there's really no... I mean, since the advent of streaming and since the, making a movie has become much cheaper, there's a lot more competition now. There's a lot more streaming services. There's a lot more independent people making movies and shit like that. So people are just going to gravitate. You don't have... It's not like it was in the 70s and 80s when everybody would go see, like, the big summer movie or whatever. Yeah. Like, everybody's going to go see it. Like now it's like, you could live your entire life without seeing any kind of like mainstream stuff. You just like, you could just have the rest of your life and just 24/7 have shit that you like on, whether it's TV series or movies or something like that. And you never run out of stuff because there's just so much.
And social media has given modern viewers the ability to keep track of the past and to talk to one another. Used to be, you could put out a shitty movie, and then the next year, and then the next movie you put out be okay, and then the next would be shitty, and the next would be real good, and it wouldn't really tarnish your reputation too much. It's not the key. That's not the situation now. Everybody knows who Disney is. Everybody knows that their movies fucking suck. They don't go see them. And it started with Disney sucking, and then the Marvel movies started to suck. And then Willow sucked so bad that they pulled it off the fucking market just after a couple months, they pulled it off Disney Plus and tried to use it as a tax write-off. They just blow up. Indiana Jones fucking sucks. You know, evidently nobody went to see it. And then Mel Gibson's fucking movie documentary about child trafficking is kicking its fucking ass. And that movie was made for nothing. And it's because they want those movies to be expensive. And then they want them to make a lot of money. Or they don't really care, but they're hoping that they'll make a lot of money. But they want them to be real expensive because that's giving paychecks to all their friends. That's all that is. They want the movie to cost fucking $500 million. They don't care if it bombs, because they got the check, they bought the mansion, they got the house, they got the pool. They don't give a shit. Corporations can't put up with that shit. They got to fucking fire these people. And you got to give them limits to what they can do. You know what I mean? You can't fucking let Disney decide how much money it's going to spend. The shareholders got to figure that shit out.
Tammy says, I heard they're finally working on the second season of Taboo, the Tom Hardy series that he worked on with his dad. I didn't even know there was a first season. Yeah. Well, now I have to kind of watch that.
Some of the most impressive shit over the past couple of years that me and Jen have seen were little independent films.
Well, I mean, I think that's always been the case. I mean, I do like some big mainstream movies like from the 70s and 80s and maybe the 90s, but generally my favorite movies are usually more independent movies or smaller movies. And like I said, because I'm a big horror person, and a lot of those, you know, you don't usually get any big tentpole horror movies. That's just not usually. There's not enough horror fans out there to support $1 billion movie. You know what I mean?
There are movies out there that were just made for nothing. That were just real gems, like that little French independent film Turbo Kid, which is a post-apocalyptic fucking superhero movie.
I think that's on Tubi now.
I want to see that again. I want to own that movie. That was a good movie, not made for anything, but it was just good writing, and it was entertaining to watch. Michael Ironside was in it, and he was being himself in it. It gave the audience what they wanted. That Megan movie was fucking good.
That was Blumhouse, I think.
Yeah, real good.
And Blumhouse, I mean, they kind of kick ass because not all their movies have been great. Some of them are just kind of average, but they don't spend a lot of money on them. They only spend a couple $1 million maybe. And they usually get a big return on it.
I have been at least satisfied with every Blumhouse movie I've seen. I didn't feel like I got ripped off. We saw them in the theater. It's like, okay, it was decent.
Yeah, like I said,
never of them were like, oh fuck that. You know, I never had a negative reaction.
Yeah.
It was always at least okay.
Yeah, they were at least usually entertaining.
Yeah,
like, you know.
Yeah, I fully endorse Blumhouse. From everything I've seen, we saw a lot of their shit. Here's another thing. Indiana Jones and fucking Disney, they're gonna fucking, their face is gonna get rubbed in it soon when that fucking Mission Impossible comes out, because Tom Cruise can fucking deliver right now, all right? And that last Top Gun Maverick, that made a shit ton of money, all right? Everybody who saw Top Gun Maverick is gonna see Mission Impossible. I love Mission Impossible. I think it's right up there with fucking Daniel Craig, James Bond. I like him as Ethan Hunt. He's good. And each one of those movies is pretty much its own movie. One of them was a John Woo flick. It's real dated, but that was popular at that time. Tom Cruise is going to tear it out of the fucking frame here in a couple weeks. When is that? Do you remember when that movie?
It's got to be soon, because I've already seen, like some of my reviewers have already seen it. And usually they get to see it maybe like a few days early or a week early. So it's either coming out this weekend or next weekend.
And here's the weird thing. Tom Cruise delivers, but none of that shit's real artistic or revolutionary. It's standard shit.
Yeah.
That Top Gun Maverick movie was just standard shit.
Yeah, it wasn't anything to like write home about or anything. No.
It was just a well-executed, good movie. It was what it was. It was basically a retelling of Star Wars: A New Hope. They're destroying the Death Star.
Yeah, I mean...
That's basically what they're doing.
That's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. They were homaging that shit. It didn't go in.
No,
it just impacted on the surface. Fucking, and I knew exactly what they were talking about.
I think I even said that in the Star Wars dude's voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when they missed it, I was like, nope, it didn't go in.
It didn't go in. It just impacted on the surface.
When we were watching the movie.
Yeah, and fucking, they knew that we knew what that was.
Yeah.
And then And even though Cruise has done some fucking pretty, I think, artistic flicks, that's not what he's doing lately. He's just giving standard shit and people are going to see it. So the people that will, the older audience, that's another thing. These are older people seeing his movies. 40s and 40 plus.
Yeah.
A lot of them. Well, there's a lot of them out there. Which is ridiculous because these Disney would say, "Oh no, that crowd is too old. They'll never come see the movie. We need young audiences." Young audiences don't have any fucking money. You know, the old audience does. Same thing with all these collectibles, like the Star Wars collectibles shit. Kids don't want that shit. Old men want that. You know, the fucking Star Wars action figures. Probably average age of a fucking buyer is probably fucking mid-40s, mid-50s buying that shit. Which is, guys.
Acting. Let's see. Come on.
I see him in there talking. It's back in. Okay.
Are we back?
Should be back. We had a lightning strike.
Yeah, sorry, lightning strike.
I told you.
Lightning strike. We told you before we started. Yeah. It's storming outside.
Right. So that's the weird thing about these movies is that the committees that are making them don't understand the market anymore. They're trying to recreate the 1970s and the 1980s. And theater isn't what it was. Younger people watch things on fucking on devices. They don't go to theaters too much. They don't. It's not in their culture.
Ben says Black Phone was Blumhouse. I actually ended up liking Black Phone much more than I thought I would. The only complaint that I had about it, because I did a video about it not too long ago, the only complaint I had was because I saw the trailer like a million times, but the trailer kind of gave most of the movie away, which was kind of a bummer. But I really, really liked the tone of it. I really liked like the retro look of it. I don't know. I just liked the way it was shot, and it was like much darker than I thought. Like it went way into like the whole child abuse angle and all that kind of stuff, and it didn't like shy away from showing that kind of shit. And so I ended up liking that like a great deal more than I thought I would. It was much better than I was expecting. So there was that. And then John Smith said Megan was a surprise hit. Yeah, it really was. Which, like I said, just goes to show, I don't know how much that cost to make. Yeah. But probably not that much, I'd imagine. But it just goes to show that it's like you have like a good premise. Like that doesn't have to be a super original premise. Like you said, it's, you know, that's been done before. But it was just really well executed, you know.
This device is trying to connect to Wi-Fi. It's not. I can't believe we have a connection here.
Yeah. We just lost it for a few seconds. Yeah, it was the lightning strike.
Yeah.
Cause can you hear it? Yeah, Hugo said I try not to watch trailers anymore. Yeah, I don't either. It's just that a lot of times when we were going to the movies all the time, I would see all the trailers. So I saw the Black Phone trailer like a lot of times, like a couple years back, because they would show it every time we were there. But I don't seek out trailers now at all. Like if I hear about a movie and there's like a buzz about it, and I like it's this horror movie that's coming out, I like that director, I like the actor that's in it, or something like that, I'll just see it. I don't even like to read the synopsis. You know, I've even gotten to that point where I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna watch it without having any like preconceived notions about it. Sometimes that bites me in the ass, but not usually. I kind of like going into movies not really knowing what they're about. Because when we watched Infinity Pool, literally the only thing I knew about it was Brandon Cronenberg, and like I knew that, you know, Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård were in it, but it was like I didn't know what it was about, and I didn't want to know. I hadn't seen a trailer or nothing. I said I'm just gonna watch it and I'm just gonna let it kind of like unfold, you know. Yeah, Kaylin said, what's also terrifying to studio execs in Hollywood is how decentralized entertainment has become, and that we really don't need Hollywood in general anymore.
No, you don't need it more.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying, is that, you know, there's so many streaming services, and there's so many independent movies, and there's just so much content that you really don't need to. I mean, you know, a lot of people still do go see those big tentpole movies, but it's like you don't need to. I mean, there's tons and tons of other stuff to watch. Like I said, I'll never live long enough to see everything I want to see. So
they're kind of getting what they deserve, though. I mean, they had a monopoly on the big screen in the United States for fucking almost 100 years, at least 100 years. They started in the early 1900s. And they just ran that shit into the ground. And here's the thing, man. But Hollywood wasn't always good. It had periods where it was pretty good, different eras. People forget a lot of times that fucking most of the fucking silver screen, 20s and 30s, most of that was schlock, according to witnesses. And
well, yeah, they were just kind of like cheap, and that's what always kind of like makes me laugh about people nowadays. It's like, oh, everything's remakes and sequels. I'm like, it was back then too. What is this like? They go back to like, oh, the golden days of Hollywood, like the 20s and 30s. I'm like, that's all it was in the 30s, pretty much. The 30s and 40s was all sequels and knockoffs and shit like that.
Yeah, and it was crap, evidently. And a lot of it doesn't exist anymore. But the witnesses said that it was crap, especially foreign witnesses. They could speak English. Like, man, these fucking movies are shitty. 70s in general was fucking horrible. Some of the movies are real good. They did have some good movies like Bullet, and they're just some 70s classics can really stand out. Star Wars was a 70s classic, but that wasn't really Hollywood. Star Wars was in flick. And some of the best films of the 70s were small, were kind of like independent directors. Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, they were coming onto the scene. They were replacing the old crusty guys. They were doing it in a better way, new way. Jaws, Close Encounters, fucking Star Wars, Indiana Jones. And some of that shit was retro. Like Indiana Jones was a retro take on fucking serials,
Yeah.
So, kind of retro futuristic kind of shit. So they kind of picked up the vibe better than a lot of the guys of the 70s. Most 70s movies were fucking kind of hard-boiled, dry cop movies. Because they replaced the Westerns. And Westerns got really bad. It wasn't until spaghetti Westerns, Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood came in. He came up with some good Westerns. And those were mostly independent Eastwood flicks. I don't think there were any. I don't think Hollywood studios were behind that usually. I don't think they did High Plains Drifter, did they?
I don't know.
I think that was an independent film.
I mean, the thing about it was that, it's honestly the 70s. If somebody made me pick, the 70s are probably my favorite decade, at least for horror films. Like most of my favorite horror films came out in the 70s or the early 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think
the mainstream movies weren't that good though.
No, but I think that's the case in a lot of eras.
Yeah.
Now, in the 80s, like a lot of the big mainstream movies were actually good. Not all of them. A lot of them, like if you watch them now, you're like, wow, that's kind of terrible. But I don't know. It's kind of like a mixed bag because I'm always kind of like, I'm not like a super nostalgic person. Like I said, I do like movies from the 70s and 80s, like that I grew up with and everything. But I am perfectly willing to watch a movie that I loved back then. And if I think it sucks now, then I'll say it sucks now. You know what I mean?
A lot of those movies, like the one we watched last night, that Dreamscape movie.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. And it was mostly just because of the writing. You could take that movie and just reshoot it and keep all the writing the same, and that'd do pretty well.
It probably would.
Yeah, just with a little bit more modern special effects. But that movie would do pretty well because they got the storytelling right.
Well, it's a good premise.
Yeah, it's a good premise, and it's kind of believable. It was kind of like a Michael Crichton flick for me,
It did kind of have that little bit of a tone.
Yeah, it had that tone to me.
But it also had like a paranormal thing going on.
Right, almost kind of like Firestarter and what was that other Stephen King flick where they're dealing with fucking paranormal?
Who, Dead Zone?
Dead Zone, and it was like that.
And like I said,
it was a good flick.
It almost had like it was weird because it almost had like the same kind of thing as Nightmare on Elm Street, even though it's not a horror movie, because it's kind of like, we're going in people's dreams and like fucking them up and shit like that. But then it was almost like a 70s political thriller.
Yeah, I remember,
it had that aspect to it.
I remember what it was reminding me of. It was reminding me a little bit of Altered States too.
Yeah, it definitely gave me like an Altered States kind of vibe. And I remember like when I saw it back in the 80s that's what it mostly reminded me of. Even though Altered States is a lot more serious and a lot weirder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of feel like Dreamscape is sort of like the mainstream political thriller version of Altered States. If that makes any sense.
I think I had seen Dreamscapes in the theater. I forgot all about it, but as I was watching the movie, I was remembering the scenes.
Yeah.
Like when the little guy was dreaming that he was catching his wife cheating on him.
Yeah.
And when he gets up there and he asks like Dennis Quaid who's in his dream with him, "Are you scared?" He goes, "No." He goes, "No." He goes, "You sure?" "Yeah, I ain't scared." "Okay, come on, let's go." And they get up there and the wife's he could hear the wife fucking somebody was just knocking her down like crazy. And he gets up there and he goes, "Oh my God, my own brother!" And in front of the kids, the children are sitting there in the chairs watching.
Oh, that made me laugh out loud. I had forgotten about that.
And then
scene.
fucking all these dudes start falling out from underneath the bed. And he goes, "You too!" And oh my friend, he's dreaming that his wife was cheating on him with all these different dudes. Even his Japanese client was fucking his wife. I remembered that shit. I remember that shit when I was like in my early teen years. I was like laughing.
What a weird scene that was, though. In front of the kids. And
they're in chairs sitting next to the bed watching it.
Watching mom humping all the dudes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
But
that was his nightmare.
That's a little bit weird, Dad.
He had performance anxiety problems.
Yeah, he had sexual anxiety. Yeah, so he thought he was inadequate.
He thought he was he had inadequacy issues.
Yeah, so he thought like all these other dudes were.
Well, the thing is he was a little dumpy guy.
Yeah.
In his 50s, and his wife was fucking a hottie in her fucking 20s. It looked like, or maybe early 30s.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would think that.
Yeah, probably.
That she married him for his money and was fucking all these other dudes.
Which they never established if that was the case, but he just thought that.
He just thought that.
Right. And that's what he was dreaming about.
Because he was, but I think a guy would think that, though.
Yeah, probably.
She was too hot for him. So something was up.
Juan says, "Hello, Tom and Jen. How are you?"
What's up?
Hi, how are you doing? We're doing pretty good. Kaylin Higgins said, "It's people like you guys, Tom and Jen, that are the new entertainment. Alternative media is rising fast, and Hollywood hates it." Yeah. We
kind of YouTube people and people on Rumble and what's the other one? Fucking Twitch. We replaced television, not movies, but television. Where's the and radio to a certain extent too, kind of like radio shows.
Subjective Perspective said, "Have y'all seen Antlers? I love that. We did. We saw it in the theater. I didn't love it. I thought I liked the concept of it, but I don't know. There was something. I mean, I liked it overall, but there was something about it that just didn't really. I don't know. That didn't really hit me. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know what it was. But I don't know. I don't know. I didn't love it. Let me see. Zach says the director of whatever that word is and The Crow. Oh, Alex Proyas, yeah, has a Patreon now and is a big supporter of decentralized filmmaking too. Only $5 a month. Cool dude. Hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I really like I said, I always like back in the 80s and shit like that. My big dream was always to write horror novels and stuff like that. And back then, if you wrote a horror novel, you either had to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to print a bunch yourself and then try to sell them, but no bookstore would carry it or anything like that, or you had to approach an agent, and then the agent would have to approach a publisher, and they would have to publish it and do the shit for you. But it's like now you don't have to do that anymore. Like, people still do go that route, obviously, but people that actually make a huge living at it, but you don't have to do that anymore. It's very, very easy to publish your own shit, which I actually always really liked to do, because the less people that are involved in my shit, the better off. I don't really I'm not a control freak or anything like that, but I don't especially if it's something that I made, a book that I wrote or a game that I thought up or something like that. I want it to be exactly the way I pictured it. I don't want other people coming in and fucking it up. You know what I mean? I want to design my own book covers. I want the layout to look exactly the way I want it to look and stuff like that. And nowadays it's easy to do that. Whereas before, you'd write a novel and then it would go to a publishing company and then they'd assign an artist to it, and then, they'd have another person do the layout and everything like that. So it's just kind of you wouldn't have it exactly the way you wanted it largely. And I don't know. I don't like that. I just like everything looking the way I want it to look. So I'm glad that it's easy to do that now.
Yeah, when Jenny and I first started this show years ago, how long's it been now? Oh shit!
We started in 2016.
Yeah, so that's what, 5 years, 6 years, almost 8, huh? No.
Wait, what's 2023 minus 2016? That's 4, 7.
7 years, yeah. I can't believe that it's been that long.
Yeah, we've been doing this shit for 7 years.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Ooh, Spock's moving around.
Yeah, well, she's humping him. Stop. Let him be a Vulcan, okay?
She's like, no.
Yeah.
Juan says that drink looks good. What is it? It is vodka and Minute Maid fruit punch?
Yeah.
Berry punch.
No, fruit punch.
Fruit punch. Okay, yeah.
I haven't opened the berry yet. When the initial concept of the show wasn't really to replace movies or TV or anything like that. It was really to replace. We were thinking more along the lines of radio type show, where we were replacing, kind of like, or not really replacing, but doing kind of the same thing Art Bell was doing, mixed with like fucking the Howard Stern show or something. You know, and we were just gonna be kind of like, and it was gonna be interactive, and we were gonna be basically online friends. You know, and just talk to people, and you know that was it. And I think we pretty much called it, because that's basically what YouTube shows are.
Yeah.
You know, but 7 years ago, you kind of had habits from the old world. You're trying to do it in a formalized setting. For a while we did it as a remember, like a slideshow.
Yeah.
Because we thought that'd be easier than having a video component, and eventually the fucking show just got stripped down to just live streaming, because it's efficient and fast response to the market, and it's better if you see who's talking to you, you know, because half the damn product is the personality of the people delivering it. I mean, I'm not the only, it's not like I'm blind in this fucking show. I got fucking YouTube shows that I listen to religiously, you know, and I feel like I know those people, so I know what you're going through. I feel the same way, you know, and it's better than television. I go back and watch recordings of television programs. That shit was stale as fuck, and you couldn't interact with it. You're not sure who these people were half the time. You know, they were kind of playing a role.
Well, I think
but we are actually like this. And fucking in the audience right now, Gramthars Hammer, we went to fucking high school together. He'd tell you, no, I was always like this. And Jen is actually like this. If you meet us in person, it's exactly the same.
I mean, I obviously like talk more than I do in real life, because like in real life I'm usually like kind of quiet, but
yeah, everything's situational.
But it is situational. But yeah, we're not any different. Like if you came to our house and like someone were like spying on us or something like that. Like, we would be sitting around watching movies and talking the same kind of shit that we talk, like, while we're on the show. And I think that was the appeal for things like this, you know what I mean? Where, because, I mean, I like a lot of shit like that, too. Like, I'll watch fucking some channels, like, you know, I bring up Jade the Libra. I like her a lot. She started out doing, like, Halloween stuff. But she does other shit. She did, like, a whole thing, like, when she was pregnant and she was, like, having the baby and she's, like, having baby shower shit. And it's, like, I'll watch her. This is crazy. I will watch her clean her fucking bathroom. She will make a video, like a cleaning video. And she'll just, like, go through and, like, clean her bathroom and, like, kind of talk during it and stuff like that. I'll even watch that.
Yeah.
Which is fucking, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that. Like, 20, 30 years ago, people were like, hey, I'm going to watch some person I don't know, like, clean their bathroom or, like, organize their closet or something like that. But people absolutely will. Because if they get to know that person, like, through their other videos and stuff like that, then it's just, like, hanging out with that person.
Yeah.
And I think people like that.
Yeah. I'll listen to Ian from Forgotten Weapons, and he just works for a damn auction house for fucking rare and exotic firearms, and he'll just sit there and just tell you everything, the history of some fucking weird experimental gun going back to the fucking 1500s. He'll fucking pull out some shit from the 1500s and show it to you, or secret weapons from World War II, small arms and shit. He just knows everything about them. And then they'll go out and shoot. I'm big into that. I like Tim Pool. I like the quartering. I like Midnight's Edge. When it comes to entertainment news, I like Midnight's Edge the best. We'll listen to Brandon Tenold. He's fucking funny as fuck.
I love Brandon Tenold.
Shitcase Cinema.
He just put up a new
really
one
good.
the other day. He doesn't put up as many anymore. He only puts up one like every few months or something whenever he feels like it. But he's always like super funny.
Anything with Michael Malice, I'll listen to him. And then I'll listen to Manosphere shit and critique that or laugh along with them at certain shit, where that Manosphere shit fucking I like it because it reminds me of what it's like to be in your 20s, because most of those dudes are in their 20s.
They don't know shit about
and
shit.
they're seeing shit from the point of view of a guy in their 20s.
I didn't know shit about shit when I was in my 20s either.
Right.
Nobody does.
And they're right about a lot of the shit they're talking about, but what they're talking about is situational. It kind of changes when you get older and you start seeing things more from other people's point of view.
Yeah, you start to crawl out of your own ass.
Yeah, and you go, yeah, these girls aren't giving you any play because you look like shit. Just shit like that. You know what I mean? Stop fucking being solipsistic. You calling them solipsistic, but you're solipsistic too. You know what I mean? I think all that shit's funny. Although some dudes come in there, some guys are real good who come in there and straighten those guys out. You know what I mean? Like, these dudes are fucking nuts. They think once a woman hits 30, she's undesirable. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They don't get good until about 30.
Like I said,
because people in their 20s are fucking dumb.
I didn't even really get my shit together until I was like about 38 or 39 years old.
And they've lost their beauty. You're like, who the fuck are you hanging out with? Man.
I kind of just feel sorry. Well, actually, that's not true. I don't feel sorry for them if they're that fucking...
Some of the hottest women me and Jen know are in their 30s and 40s. They're fucking smoking hot. If I show you fucking pictures of them, you're like, she's 40? Yeah. They got them in their 50s that are hot as shit. But, a lot of these guys are in their 20s, and they're looking to get married and have kids. So, yeah, that's too old for you. If you're 23, you don't want to get married and have kids with a 50-year-old woman, no matter how hot she is. But if you're a 55-year-old man and you see a 50-year-old woman, she's fucking smoking hot, you're jacked. You know what I mean? That's got your name all over it. If she's single. So, but they haven't fucking adopted that viewpoint yet. That reality is situational.
Maybe they'll get older and their
you gotta get older
will expand.
so you understand that shit. Yeah.
Like, I feel like young dudes are very narrow-minded.
Yeah, but here's the fucking funny thing. They're jerking it fucking constantly to fucking porn, and they're not fucking honing their game to go out there and meet women in the wild, all right? And fucking have a relationship. They're jerking it to all the fucking porn constantly. And these girls that they're jerking it to are in their 40s and 50s, and they don't realize that, I guess.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Because it does seem like that seems to be... And shit, like, every porn platform we, like, look at, like, even Stream8 and stuff like that, most of the top performers are
40s, 50s.
older.
Yeah,
or older women.
Yeah.
Like, they look fantastic. I'm not
Cougars.
saying that, but it's like a cougar thing.
Cougars,
or
yeah.
MILFs, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like it seems like the top thing.
Yep.
So, and I think that's true of, like, pretty much every porn platform. That's one of the top categories.
A lot of guys in their 20s, they think of a 50-year-old woman, they think of some old hag. And like, fuck no, man. No,
well, that's weird because, like, a lot of, like, super high, like, celebrity actresses and stuff like that are in their 40s and 50s, and they still look amazing.
They got some of their 60s and their 70s that looked amazing.
Yeah.
Remember that one fucking on the Shazam Part 2, the fucking British chick? What's her name? The one that was played Morgana in fucking...
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. Yeah, I'm looking at her, and she's, what, 74 maybe?
She's probably in her 70s, yeah, I imagine.
And I was commenting to Jen, I was like, man, I can't believe that she's held together so well. I mean, she's hot. She's definitely older, but she's hot.
I always liked Helen Mirren.
Yeah, I mean, she's hot.
I always thought she was super cool.
I don't know what she looks like without her clothes on, but it doesn't matter because there's something about when you have a woman who's attractive like that, she's in her 70s, it's almost kind of like she's earned it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you kind of be a little bit more forgiving to her. You know what I mean? It just, and then there's like if you score that, there's almost kind of like fucking street cred behind it. You know what I mean? I think. You know what I mean? It's like having sex with the queen. Shit like that.
But not like the actual queen.
Not the actual queen.
Ew. But like a
like a
good one. A hot one, right. I get it. Zach says, Isabelle Huppert is hot as fuck, and she's almost 70, I think. I always thought Isabelle Huppert was so fucking sexy. Yeah. I always loved her. And I love her because she's a French actress. I don't know if you might recognize her if you saw her. I've seen, like, a bunch of her movies, but I always like that. I mean, she will be in some fucked up movies, man. Like, she'll take, like, some crazy roles, and I respect that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I really do. Like, she really seems to be like into like the craft of acting, which is kind of, like I said, more a European thing. Yeah. Tammy said Helen Mirren is 77, so nearly 80.
She was hot. Go watch that movie. Now I'm sure they might have done a little bit of CG on her, but it doesn't matter. She's still recognizable. She looked just like that, like kind of like you definitely recognize her from Excalibur. I grew up with. I want to see that one again. I love that movie.
I know. I always liked Excalibur.
I love Excalibur, and
I remember watching that in school. Isn't that crazy? Like, we watched that in our English class because we were talking about like Arthurian legends, and like my teacher was like, "Yeah, let's watch Excalibur," even though we were like kids. Yeah. But you know,
Excalibur and Zardoz, same director, both good.
Zardoz is weird as hell.
Actually, man, that's fucking kind of come true. Elites that want to wipe out mankind so they can be the next step in human evolution. They got that out of a bunch of fucking type of UN type papers, think tanks and shit. We're thinking like that. Same kind of shit. Blade Runner and fucking Alien is talking about the Wayland Corporation.
Yeah, Zach said also, goddamn, is she stylish as fuck? Isabelle Huppert is talking about now. One of the best dressed people I've seen anywhere. Yeah, she always looks like super fucking Isabelle Huppert. Okay. Yeah, she always looks like super. But like I said, French. Yeah. So the French, I don't know, man. They somehow seem to have some kind of like classy fucking shit that like nobody else seems to be able to do. I'm not really sure.
Cassandra Peterson is still smoking hot. You know, you guys know her as Elvira. She's still smoking hot. That damn fucking Scream Queen is near 60 and she's still hot. What's her name? The one that was from fucking From Beyond and
Barbara Crampton.
She got
Barbara Crampton's
got some great legs.
I'm on her Instagram.
Yeah.
And she looks incredible. Yeah. Like, cause she posts pictures of, and she is like so fucking cute, man. Cause she will post, and she's always making that big happy like smiling face like that she makes, and she's like so cute. But it's like you would never believe that woman is as old as she is.
She's got a great ass.
She's not old,
she's
but
got a great ass and fucking great legs.
She seems like a lovely person, honestly.
She's hot.
Which, yeah, she's still... I just saw a movie... When did that movie came out? It was an indie horror movie. What's it called? Beyond the Gates, I think it was called. And it just came out... When did it come out? A few years ago. Well, it was probably like longer than that. It was probably like 2016 or 2018 or something like that. And she was in that. And like I said, she didn't look old at all. She played like a horror host type character. Like that was on this videotape. Because it was set back in the 80s, you know what I mean? Or back in the 80s or 90s. And she was like on this VHS game. And I was like, oh shit, you remember those? Remember those fucking VHS games? That you'd put like the tape in and that it was kind of like a choose your own adventure kind of thing. And do you remember those?
It was a VHS choose your own adventure.
Well, they had VHS games. You know what I mean?
That's a long time ago. I remember.
Yeah, they played a couple of them on
fast forward to a certain time or back up to a certain time.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do? Yeah. Like go fast forward to this kind of thing.
They had books like that.
Well, I had a bunch of the choose your own adventure books.
Choose your own adventure. Yeah, they were kind of like Dungeons and Dragons type. The ones I used to get.
Yeah, they're mostly like fantasy type stories.
Yeah.
And then, you'd have a decision like at the end of each chapter. If you want to do this, turn to page whatever. Yeah. If you want to, you know what I mean? So it was like interactive. But yeah.
That was like an old tech there.
I used to like those though.
Yeah, they're fun.
I used to have a whole bunch of them. They wrote like a fucking bajillion of them. I used to get them out of the library sometimes too. But yeah, they played some of those VHS games on Beer and Board Games sometimes.
Yeah, it's another good channel we'll watch.
Which is another... Yeah, I always watch Beer and Board Games. Well, it's Blame Society, but he does Beer and Board Games and Welcome to the Basement, which is like a movie review show. So I watch both of those.
That's a really good show. We both recommend that one.
Yeah.
Blame Society.
Real good. Beer and Board Games is just... It's 4 guys, or 4 people, like it's girls sometimes too, but sitting around playing... It's a different board game every week, and they sit around and sometimes they get really drunk and it's like super funny.
That's how we named Pookie.
Yeah.
Pookie's original name was Baby Cookie. Mm-hmm. Baby Cookie was a character off of fucking Blame Society.
Yeah.
She was a little doll.
Like a baby doll.
A little baby doll. It was naked.
He was like always...
Yeah, she was 3. Wasn't she 3?
No, she was a baby.
Yeah, but how old was she supposed to be, though? 3?
Baby age.
Baby age, yeah.
But also, she was...
She did all kinds... She smoked.
Yeah.
She fucking talked shit. She would raft down the gutter. Remember that? And
she lived with her boyfriend, Baby Petey.
Yeah. She did all kinds of shit.
Also drugs, right?
Yeah, she did drugs. Yeah. She did
She's a pretty cool baby.
Yeah, she was the baby. She spoke fluent Ebonics. She did everything.
Yeah, she doesn't turn up on every single show, but she usually does turn up on some of them. But yeah, that's super funny. But yeah, so I like that show too. I really like a lot of YouTube shows.
Yeah.
I mean, those ones we already said. Brandon Tenold. I also like Ryan Hollinger, who's an Irish guy, and he talks about horror movies. And
don't forget Shitcase Cinema.
And Shitcase Cinema.
Yeah, he's a British guy.
He doesn't do horror movies. Well, he does horror movies sometimes, but he usually does action movies,
flicks. Cheap
like
action
ninja
flicks.
movies stuff. Yeah. And man, he finds like scrapes the bottom of the barrel. He finds like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And he also does like a bunch of those Steven Seagal like direct to video ones, which are
Neil Breen.
And Neil, he does like a lot of Neil Breen movies too. Like, and that's super funny. But his delivery is just very funny.
Great writing. He can write dialogue. Fucking hilarious.
So he's like, but he doesn't post as
British
often.
Classic.
He doesn't post as often as he used to. Like now, he only puts up something every couple.
He's
months
got a day job, I think. Now.
I think he does too.
Yeah.
He's a novelist also, and I keep saying I'm gonna like buy some of his books. I probably should. But Zach says Ryan Hollinger is so cute. My dream man looks like him. Yeah, he is adorable, and his little Irish accent is just like so cute. And I like that so many people commented on how cute his Irish accent was, that it's like now he's just kind of like leaning into it. I think he even sells a t-shirt in his store that says "Hoyever" on it because that's kind of how he pronounces however. So like now he has to say it like every time because so many people like commented on how cute it was, like how he pronounces however. So I think he's even got a shirt that says "Hoyever" on it, which I think that like made me laugh. But yeah. So like I said, I like that. I like Jade the Libra. Like I said, she does kind of just like daily vlogging type stuff, but her main thing is Halloween stuff. Like she'll go out like Halloween hunting, like for Halloween decorations, and she always like decorates her house, so, like the inside of her house, and she does like a Halloween tree and shit like that. And then sometimes she does clothes that could like, you know, scary clothes and shit like that, and costumes. And who else? I'm trying to think. I like Nexpo. That's if you haven't seen that, he usually talks about like ARGs, stuff like that. I like that. He usually does real in-depth kind of stuff. He doesn't put out that much stuff. I think it's probably like every couple weeks or something. And I like a lot of true crime ones too. I like true crime stuff. I like scary stories. I like Mr. Nightmare. Although I think my favorite of all the scary stories, just as far as delivery and like voice and stuff, is B-Busta. He's I think he's Australian, and he will usually put out a video. I feel like it's once a week or once every week and a half or something like that, and it's usually like 2 or 3 hours long, and it's just like a compilation of like scary stories that people send him. And it's like I've actually started listening just on my long commutes and stuff. Sometimes I'll listen to music like Spotify, but sometimes I'll listen if he puts out a video that's like 2 or 3 hours long. Like I'll spend like a couple days like back and forth like listening to that because I just like the scary stuff, especially if it's like creepy and rainy outside, or like in the morning if it's kind of dark. It's like kind of cool like listening to the scary stories. And Camp Guy said also cooking channels. Yeah. I like those too. And you know what's weird about it? I really like, and I don't know why this is, but I really like. I don't necessarily like the people sometimes because they seem like they wouldn't be the kind of people I'd hang out with. But I do kind of like this little subset of the cooking channels that are always like, I made, a Thanksgiving dinner for $10 out of Dollar Tree. Or, you know what I mean? Like, because I like the creativity of how they have to go and spend only $5 or only $10 at Aldi or Dollar General or whatever it is and, like, make something good out of it. Like, something about the challenge of that is, like, really appealing to me. So I do, like, watch a lot of those, too. There's a couple different channels that that do shit like that. I can't even remember the name of them right now. But yeah, so I like those too. Like usually the challenge ones where you have to like, but like you have to eat on a week for like $5 or something like that.
I like Cooking con Claudia. Real good. Mexican recipes. She'll teach you how to make hot sauce even. Everything. Real good. Claudia.
And I've really gotten into just lately, like sometimes before I, just while I'm kind of like winding down before I go to sleep or something like that, I've really gotten into that Weird History Food channel.
Yeah, that's good too.
Like those videos, they put up a fuck ton of videos, man. But they're usually like 12 to 15 minutes long. Yeah. And they kind of go into, like they'll either do something like kind of wide ranging or like super specific. They'll talk about like one fast food chain, for example, or they did a whole video. I watched one the other day about the KFC Double Down, which is like the history of the Double Down, which I thought was funny. Zach says, I love Internet Investigator. She's this British chick with a real deep voice who does videos about internet-based horror stuff and mysteries.
Deeper than Jen's voice?
Hey!
It's no... I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah,
it's not deep anymore. No, it isn't. It's not as deep as it was.
Yeah, well, because I told them...
Yeah, it's you still got a little bit of that grit to it.
Because because of all this...
you start frying.
All this shit that I'm on.
Yeah, for a while.
And like my voice got all...
Yeah. Winstrol did that.
And I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to go back to...
No, it's reversible.
Because it didn't... Well, I didn't really realize it that much until... I went back and watched one of our old videos, and my voice sounded completely different.
Yeah, like a little child.
And then one of our friends said something about it too.
Who? Angel?
Angel said something about it because she watches our videos sometimes.
Yeah, well, she wanted to go on gear.
Yeah.
And I says, yeah, you better go on gear, you fat ass. Then she's like, yeah, but look what it did to her voice. And I said, that's reversible. You just stop taking it, it goes back. I mean, there are women that have gone full transsexual and become. You look at them, they're just men, and then gone back to female, and their voice goes pretty much go back to normal. They're still.
I'm really not. I'm not that bothered.
No, you're well in the female range. You're well in the female range.
I like to think I sound what?
I watch
Don't fall on me.
Now fell forward.
I like to think I sound kind of sultry. Now.
Yeah, like a Kim Carnes,
like Kathleen Turner.
Yeah. Betty Davis.
I'm not that bad, am I? Holy crap.
No. Kim Carnes was raspier. Yeah.
That sounded like some fucking... Yeah. That's a 3-pack a day habit. Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't think I sound that bad. But I don't know. I don't know what my voice sounds like to other people. Although I guess I do, because I do actually have to listen to myself talk all the time, because I do go back and edit videos and shit like that I talk in. So I guess I'm just kind of used to it.
Yeah, it did change a little bit, but
I didn't. Well, like I said, I didn't really notice it until I went back and watched one of our really old videos, and I was like, oh, I guess my voice does sound a lot different.
Yeah, but it's still in the female range. There's a lot about you that's changed since then. I'm not gonna mention it, but fucking there's a lot.
He's not gonna mention it.
I'm not gonna mention it.
What's stopping you?
Just things about your physique. You know what I mean? Fucking, it's androgens do that. That's. But the thing is that it's not unique. All them fucking hotties that we're talking about in their 50s and 60s and 70s are all on gear. They just use different ones at a different time. Next one you ought to look at once you go through fucking MPPs, you want to fucking look at Primo. You've done that one before.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it. Yeah, Tammy said, why stop now? That's what I said. It's like not, like, talking about random shit, like all this. You said, oh, I'm not going to say, like, what else.
Yeah.
But I think I know what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But
yeah, certain fucking development. The way your booty's shaped, too, is also changing, like, for the better. Yeah.
Booty shape.
Yeah, your booty shape. You're getting fucking bigger legs, bigger booty. Mm-hmm. It's nice. Yeah. Shit fits better.
I have noticed that.
Yeah. It won't take long. You just got to get everything right. It's got to be within safety parameters.
Yeah, I don't want I don't want.
Yeah, you go too fast, it'll fuck you up. You got to go slow.
Yeah,
and you're right. and you got to fucking do physical stuff along with it to develop. And then, because if you guys are new to the show, I don't know, but me and Jen also got a thing going on Stream Mate, so we're both models too. We got a lot of video fucking made and shit. Just that it hasn't been released yet.
I have them all uploaded. I just haven't priced them yet.
We haven't priced them yet. Made them available. And we got Fansly's going. You haven't heard from Fansly, have you?
Not yet. You got on though, right?
Yeah, I'm on.
We both got on StreamMate, and we have streamed one time on there.
Yeah.
Just as an experiment, but we weren't on that long because we were really tired. So we just wanted to see like how it worked and stuff.
Yeah, and certain select people in the comment section here have had I've sent them samples of fucking raw footage of shit that we cut, and fucking everybody seems to be happy with it. So
yeah, we usually work on stuff every weekend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We'll do
it's fun.
Videos and photos. And
it's
stuff.
Fun to make content. We get offers from fucking girls we know. Fucking maybe I'll come by and make some content with you. You know who wants to make content? Bree.
Yeah, you told me.
Bree wanted to make a content, and she.
I hadn't seen her in a million years, and then she came out to the last Memento, and I was like, "Holy shit, girl!"
My ex Carrie. Remember Carrie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's from way
back.
That was like when Venue 13 was in DeLand.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Carrie fucking thinks you're fucking smoking hot. She wants to make fucking content with you, but she's gained too much weight. We're not gonna bring Carrie in.
Don't say that out loud.
Well, okay.
Too late. You just did.
Oh no, I told her to her face.
Oh, that's true.
I told her. I said no, fucking, you got to get yourself in shape. She is working out though. She wanted to go. She was going on gear and everything. Trying to see who else want to make content. Well, Eleta, my ex Eleta, of course, she's like, yeah, I'll make content with you.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I think we brought that up on the show on Wednesday. Maybe I don't know if people would think that was weird or not. That
I thought it was hilarious
that you're setting stuff up. It's like, hey,
with my ex-girlfriend.
I'm gonna have my girlfriend and
my ex-girlfriend,
making out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever.
Well, they do that anyway.
Well, like I said, she's my friend too.
Yeah.
Obviously you knew her before I did, but
yeah, Eleta does that anyway.
Yeah, they already do that.
Right. These are all goth people.
Her and her husband.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really not.
It's not that unusual for the crowd to hang out.
Not that unusual.
Yeah.
No one's like, whatever.
And probably about one quarter of all the people that we know are somehow doing this, and in the goth scene. And out of that one quarter, the ones that are doing it, it's like 70% of all the hot people.
Yeah.
Are also doing this.
I mean, might as well.
They make money.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you gotta have a side hustle, there's
there's
I'd rather do that than deliver pizzas or something, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and some of them are escorting.
Well, see, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
No thanks.
You know who they are, though.
Yeah, I know, but
Very high end.
I'm just saying that. Yeah. Like I said, that's another cool thing about the internet is you can actually put up all this kind of content and stuff like that, but you don't have to actually interact with real people, which is nice.
Let me tell y'all an industry secret. Some of these fucking really gorgeous actresses that fucking work in these named theme parks around here, escort. Strange as it is. But that's
like I said, girl got to pay rent somehow.
Yeah, this ain't paying the rent. That's exactly what she told me. You were standing right next to me. She goes, that shit don't pay the rent.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I would never begrudge anybody making money because I know how hard it is out there, you guys. And the thing about it is that I don't really have any kind of I don't have any kind of judgment about sex work of any kind because, like I said. You're like, yeah, you can make money another way. You can drive an Uber. You can do this other. It's like, yeah, but why?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, doing shit on StreamMate or selling porn that you made or something like that is a lot safer.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Depends on the sex work.
I mean, not escorting.
Escorting
I wouldn't do that. You kind of have to be I'm not shitting on people that do it because good for you, but it's that's not for me.
All those girls have a certain mentality, and you kind of don't want that mentality if you ask me. Fucking kind of the ATM mentality, and they're kind of fucking distant. I think.
Yeah.
It's they've kind of depersonalized it too much. If you ask me, I mean, But you know what I mean. They're in their own situations, I guess.
Yeah, I mean everybody's coming at it different. Like we were talking about this the other day, like
Right.
over text, but where he was saying that some people get to a point where they've just done that kind of shit so much like their whole life that it's like sex doesn't mean anything to them.
Right.
So
You don't
it's
want
just
that.
and it's like, and I don't really want to be that way.
Yeah. The
You know
shit
what I mean?
we do on a video is between me and her, and we're having fun.
Yeah.
We're in here to.
Like I said, we're just doing shit that we'd be doing for free anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not. We're just letting other people see it. That's all, that's the only difference.
Yeah, and then a lot of it is fucking. Okay, when you're making this material, it's staged. You already have it planned out what's going to happen most of the time. We're going to make this kind of video and this and that. You got to set up cameras. There's a lot of shit you have to do. It's not like normal sex. Because you're worried about shit like, I hope the audio's good. You know what I mean? Because when you're having sex, you're just fucking having sex. But when you're making this shit, there's a bunch of technical shit you're worried about. And sometimes as a guy, it kind of throws you off. You have a problem fucking busting a nut because you're worried about fucking technical shit. Yeah. And then you go, you know, how long have I been doing this? And then you're worried about how long. Is this long enough? You know, I didn't set a timer. Because we need to make a 15-minute video. It's that kind of shit. Well,
yeah, and I think about that too.
When should I actually finish this scene? You know, even though you really shouldn't be worried about it because you can edit it to whatever length you want.
Well, it took me a long time to actually get through. Like even when I'm just doing regular non-sex videos, it took me a long time to get past the thing. It's like, because I'd be, you know, recording like a movie review or whatever the fuck, and then I would get mad like when I fucked up, and then I was like, oh duh, I can just like edit that out. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know why I'm fucking worried about it.
Yeah. So you we're still at the stage where where we cause our own pressure.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of my whole deal. Yeah. I wish I wasn't like that.
Because you can just edit it.
That's just what I'm like. You know how I get, like, and I start getting overwhelmed and panicky and shit like that.
Right.
And I really wish I wasn't like that, but.
And then StreamMate, the shit's live.
Right.
So that's additional pressure. So there's ways around it. But what I do is you go on there and you go look at other couples and see how they do it.
Yeah, because I was noticing
there's all kinds
of ways you can like work around the rules. Because StreamMate now, and I listened to like this girl who had been doing StreamMate for a long time, and she was like talking to this other girl who was like just getting into it. She was like giving her advice and stuff, and it was actually like really good. She had like a lot of really good pointers and stuff. But apparently StreamMate, and I think like a lot of live streaming, these kind of like sex worker live streaming sites, they have to be really diligent just so they don't get their ass in trouble, right? Like everybody appearing on film, you know, they have to have all your ID and your address and everything like that so they can make sure everything is above board. Nobody can appear that they don't know who it is, all this other kind of shit. You can't just have people wander in. They said they're even weird about, they're like, if you're doing shit on your live stream or whatever and like your dog keeps wandering it, even if the dog's not doing anything, they're even kind of weird about that because it's like, oh, there's an animal in there and like we can get in trouble.
Shot. You can't
right, even though it's like, they're like, yeah, they're not going to have a big deal if like the dog just wanders in and then wanders out again. But if the dog is like just hanging out there, then like, yeah, you might have to do something about that. But it's like, they have a thing where in the free chat, because like anybody can come in and you know, go in your room or whatever and they can watch you doing what you're doing, like your live stream. But it's like you're not allowed to show anything in the free chat. Like I said, you can show tits, you can show like dildos and shit like that,
and you can blow them,
and you can do stuff like that, but you can't show like a real dick. You can't show any penetration. You can't show.
Although I must say that in the guy section,
but sometimes you do see people,
fucking breaking the rules and shit. But there must be leeway for them guys.
Maybe, or they're just thinking because and I don't know if the rules are different because the YouTube video I was watching with that girl on it, that was like a year or two old. But she said, well, she had broken the rules a couple of times, like not intending to, and they said, oh, well, they just suspended me for like a 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that. She's like, but then they just reinstated me after a few hours anyway. Yeah. So the thing about it is that maybe, they'll suspend you, but maybe they reinstate you really quickly, so they figure it's worth it.
Well, it could be those dudes only stream a couple times a day anyway.
Right, and like, and they're just kind of like banking on nobody noticing. Yeah. Because I thought they were pretty strict about no below the waist, it says. Like, you can't show any nudity below the waist. In your free thing. Like, it's obviously, like, if people pay and, like, you go into a private session, then, you can show whatever you want. But, so they have, like, pretty strict rules about that. But then, like, when we just scrolled through there randomly, like, on Saturday or whatever, I'm like, well, shit, there's all kind of people, like, breaking the rules in there. But some people had, like, pretty clever ways of, like, skirting it, where it's, like, it was just like suggestive, like you could tell what was going on, but you couldn't actually like see anything, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's a good idea, like maybe we should like look into doing that. But honestly, to be honest, like 99% of the time, like whenever I just randomly like, you know, fire it up and like scroll through there and like look at whatever the live streaming people are doing, 99% of the people are just like sitting around not doing anything, and some of them are like aren't even talking like to the people. And you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just feel like if you're going to be on, at least you have to kind of like be entertaining, I would feel like. But a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are just kind of like sitting there. So. Oscar says, Sinister Cinema is a great horror reviewer. Yeah, I think I've watched a couple of that. Tammy said, ooh, I get to see Tom's tits. Right? Yeah. You can see all kind of Tom. Let's see. Zach said you could literally do an OnlyFans of just feet pics for $5 a month and see it come rolling in. I haven't considered that. You know what I mean? Like maybe just doing a foot centric one, because how easy would that be? Just take pictures of my. Yeah, I just have to make sure that my toenails are painted nice.
That was Zach saying that.
Yeah.
Zach, you have to see the statistics though. All right. It's only like the top 1% that are making really good money. All right. On OnlyFans. OnlyFans, you're selling videos and photographs. I don't even think you can stream live on OnlyFans yet. You can on Fansly.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why you would want to. It'd be better just if you're gonna stream live, you do it on StreamMate. But 99% of them are making somewhere between $300 or less.
Yeah.
The top 1% are doing really well. But if you look at the top 1%, they are physical outliers. It's cute girls, super hourglass, Triple H fucking natural boobs, big old booty, or super fit, or skinny, huge implants. It's always some kind of a physical outlier, something that's striking. Dudes like novelty, and that top 1% are what I would call novelty women. They're making all the money. Dudes don't make that much money. The top male earners are super jacked dudes doing gay material. I don't think they're gay, a lot of the guys, but they're making gay material.
Well, like
they're
I said,
doing
that's
real well.
In porn, that's kind of, if you're a dude, that's kind of the way to go if you want to make any money.
If you're a high-end male and you want to make money, you have to do gay material. Because
women don't pay
Women don't pay
for porn.
Right.
Most women do not pay for porn.
Now, StreamMate, you can stream live, whether you're a girl or you're a guy, and you're getting these male customers off. It's mostly women, and almost everything on StreamMate is kind of like oriented towards female performers. They have couples. There aren't very many couples. Then you go to the guys only section. There aren't that many guys if you're in your region, because I check all this. I have this part of my job. I got to see what the demographics are. At any one time in the United States and the UK, there's only 6 guys working. That's low.
Yeah.
And those dudes are dogs. I'd be in the fucking top 10% easily if I did that. I don't really plan to do that. But the thing is, you're solo. It's not like you're having sex with anybody else. You're just sitting there making money.
Yeah.
But a lot of those dudes are doing shit that I wouldn't do. But the thing is, the weird thing about StreamMate is that the customers know what's up. They know that the performers have limits. And there's something about the limits that turns certain guys on. Like, for instance, new girls that won't do very much, for some reason turn these guys on. They want to be like the first ones to get her to do something.
Yeah.
They'll spend a lot of money.
They want to corrupt her.
Yeah, like, well, nobody else has seen this one, do
Yeah,
this.
So it's like a new thing.
So they keep kind of trying, well, will you do it for 200?
Right.
Well, if you do it for 3, so that's something that you don't have in video. Somebody like, a couple like me and Jen really would not make any income on video, not enough to pay any bills. You make some, but that's not enough to. The money for us would be streaming.
Yeah.
Because to make money, we got friends in the industry. To make money on video, you got to have a lot of videos, and it takes about a year or so to get a return on the costs to make that video, because you had to hire other performers, you had to fucking do testing, okay, and then you had to get locations, which might be hotel rooms, and all that shit adds up. It's going to cost about $600-700 to make a video. Well, that's about how long it takes online to get a return on that. You got to make a lot of them, hundreds of them, and it might take a year or so before you start see all that money coming back to you. And it's not going to be that much. $700 a month. You got 300 videos out there making only $700 a month. That's not that much. So the money's really in streaming live performance.
Which, like I said, that was kind of more the aspect that I was kind of more into anyway. We are making videos.
Yeah.
Like, just to have some stuff up in the store.
You
like
sell that to
stuff.
customers.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we do, like I said, every weekend we do video shoots, we do photo shoots, we do all. So we have like a lot of material, but we're just kind of like laying the groundwork for that just so we can get more into the streaming.
Right. And like that first trial stream that we did had some guys that asked me for some shit that I did they wanted a fucking solo fucking performance. And the thing is fucking what they were specifying is difficult to do at the drop of a hat. What's easier is to have videos to sell them. So if you want to see that, it's cheaper just to buy the video.
Yeah.
You can get the video for $10-15. If you want me to do that live, shit, that's going to take time. That's going to be about $100. They'll take the cheaper route.
Yeah, so we wanted to have like a good variety of videos so that if somebody came on StreamMate and were like, hey, we want to see you guys do this, or you want to see you do that, or whatever, and we can't do that for whatever reason, then we can say, hey, but we have a video of us doing that. That's, $10 or whatever.
$10, $15, because if you want that fucking live, that's, it's fucking $4.99, $5.99, $6.99 a minute.
Yeah.
That's going to take fucking 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a half hour. That's several $100s.
Yeah.
So you can actually just go on StreamMate and hawk videos.
Yeah.
And socialize with people. Yeah.
Which, like I said, that was kind of what I planned on doing, was just kind of like doing, like I said, a show like this, but, I don't know.
But that's the gig.
We can probably stream tomorrow at some time.
Yeah, we'll see. We can.
I mean, I imagine.
We can. The guys are interchangeable as the camp guys. They just sit around. What do you say? I can't.
And when they get another boner, they tap back in with the director.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about it, and the thing about StreamMate is that I know that you're trying to like lure people into your room and like getting them to interact with you, so they'll give you some money and shit like that. But to me, it seems. I don't know. I don't know if it seems like good that, because like I said, we were scrolling through like the dudes that were doing it like solo, and like some of the dudes are just like sitting there like jacking it. I'm like, do you really want to like show all of that? Because it's like now you got nothing left to do really. Like, why would anybody pay to see when they could just watch you doing it for free? And like I said, you're not really allowed to do that anyway. Like sometimes you'll get suspended, like if they catch you. But people do seem to get away with it though. I noticed.
What was he talking about?
I said it seems to me that if you are hoping to get people to pay you, it would behoove you to not show too much in the free area. Like, right. You know, tease people, obviously. And they have a thing where, like, StreamMate has a thing where it's like people can tip you, like, $10 or whatever, like, oh, show your tits or whatever. And you can do that in that room. But if you want to do anything more explicit, they have to, like...
It's got to be exclusive or private.
You have to go to, like, a private thing.
A lot of people are just making money by just doing stupid stunts in the free chat. Like, here's 10, fucking do this. Here's 10, but it's like, you know, above the waist shit, and it's just bullshit. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, shit, if you could just make money doing that, I mean, that would be, like, pretty easy. Because a lot of that stuff's, like, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to do anything, like, super strenuous.
Right.
Or anything like that.
You're just selling fantasy.
Right. I mean,
what was I going to say about, shit, before I left, we were talking about those dudes. I think Zach was saying, what does Zach say about the dudes are fucking...
Say what you will, but to me it seems like dudes have the most fun making porn. Real dudes and professional.
Well, no, I think the girls do too.
Depends on the girl.
Depends on, yeah, well, they're in that industry. If they're in, you know, and like I said, I know a guy who has a local studio here, and we talk a lot and about the business. And
he said I met gay dudes.
What's that?
He said I met gay dudes.
Oh yeah, baby. But the women, this includes the guys too. No matter how much they're making on porn with those studios, those porn videos are really, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, that's just the advertisement for the escort servicing.
Yeah.
Okay. They're escorting and they're sugaring. You know, that's what they're doing. And a lot of it is off of Twitter. They got to be cool about it and not be real obvious, but I mean, just the stories you hear, you know, you got some dude, he's basically a mope, which is a great movie. If you guys want to see a movie about a porn industry, see Mope. And it's based on a true story. One of my favorite movies, I want to have it. I want to own that movie. I'm going to go buy that bitch. A lot of times, you know, Mope doesn't make a whole lot of money, and then he keeps showing up with new cars and fucking new clothes. You're like, where the fuck? He just don't worry about where that shit came from. Because they're fucking escorting, man. And I tell you what, it's not a woman that didn't pay him that, okay? A woman didn't pay for that. A dude did.
Like I said, I don't know a single woman that pays for porn.
No.
Like I said, now women will buy erotica.
Yeah.
They'll buy, like, books. Like, that are, like, they'll buy erotica books.
Well, you know my werewolf fucking muscle buddy? Fucking, one that, you know, fucking sells me shit every now and then.
Yeah.
He's escorted.
Yeah.
But he's escorted with females.
Right.
And I was asking him, I even saw his clients, some of them. And I was like, what the fuck is this? How they do that is very different. You know, male escorting is very different from female escorting. His clients were just business women, like in their 40s or 50s that had made six figures, but they just couldn't get boyfriends. So really what he was more like a secret agent. He would pretend to be a boyfriend from another fucking company.
Yeah.
So you have to impersonate, because she's taking the motherfucker skiing. You know what I mean? Around her friends. So he has to pass himself off.
Right.
As a fucking executive from another company that she's dating.
Yeah, he can't just be some.
He can't be some fucking gigolo.
Dudes, I feel like they'll just like pay for some skanky
bitch.
Woman, and everybody like, everybody be like, woo, go.
Yeah. That's not the deal with
women are like, we want to be discreet about that shit.
No, male escort has to be basically James Bond. He has to impersonate a fucking civilian.
Like you have to be like a real person. Yeah. You can't just like be.
Yeah, you have to impersonate.
No, you can't like give people the impression that you had to pay for that shit.
Exactly. Because the woman, the woman would be embarrassed of that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: is that
dudes are not for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Why. Well, it's kind of belittling a woman's fucking prowess, I guess, that she had to pay for it. But the thing is that she's not paying for the sex. She's not paying for the sex. She's getting the sex for free, basically. what she's paying for is fucking his time and like, because she's gotta compete against the other women that are trying to get him to come over. What shit? I forgot where I was going with it. They're usually, it's not usually like a one night stand thing with them.
Yeah.
It's like, come skiing with me for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you have to have a bunch of skills. You gotta learn how to ski. You gotta know how to ride horses.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
You can't be lame.
You can't be lame, and you gotta be like James Bond.
Right.
You know. And really, what she's done is she's hired a vehicle to brag to her friends. You know what I mean? Look, I got a man. But she can't get a man. She's a boss bitch. She's somebody's boss. And she can't go out with the guy who makes less money than her. And she has to go out with the guy who supposedly makes more money than her. Like a catch. But the dudes that are all making more money than her are going out with a chick from fucking Starbucks. Because guys don't care how much money a woman makes. She just cares whether or not... Guys just care whether or not she's got a fucking tight ass and she's got a good rack. And is she fun? So, career women actually, especially if they're tall, fucking have a problem finding guys.
Yeah, I can see that.
So they they hire these guys to be fake boyfriends for fucking outings to show off to their friends. Fucking sad, but true.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's any more sad than the reverse.
Oh, well, I just think it's sad this woman's paid all this money for the fucking education. She's making all this money, and then she has such limited dating options that she needs a professional.
That's only sad because dudes are the worst.
No, dudes aren't the worst. It's just that dudes aren't really gold diggers. They don't care how much a woman makes. They just care whether or not they like her. They don't like... If they liked her, she wouldn't have to be doing this. You know what I mean? So, no, you can't blame a guy. Guys are attracted to what they're attracted to.
Yeah,
and her standards are too high, too.
That might be.
She can't go out with a dude that makes less money than her, and she makes fucking $250,000, $300,000 a year.
But I feel like a woman that was educated and made $250,000, like, why would you even need a dude? Don't waste your money on that shit. Just go do fun shit by yourself.
Yeah, that gets old, evidently.
I mean, you don't need that you don't need that aggravation. Camp Guy says, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. I mean, the thing about it is that, I don't know. I don't know if I so much, because I know that was that fucking book whenever it was. The 90s? When did that come out? The 90s? And I know that was very much in the zeitgeist at the time. It was just like this whole battle of sexes thing. And I do feel like some of those ideas have merit, but I don't know. I think we're a lot more similar than we are different. But there are definitely differences, though. Oh, shit. Did we lose it? Okay, it's back. Yeah, we've been, I guess because it's storming outside, our stream has been kind of intermittent. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I'm noticing because I can see my little light going yellow and then red. But it came back to green, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. Yeah, Tammy said dudes only care what a girl looks like. I mean, to a large extent, that's true. Although I think that usually, well, I don't know if I want to say that. I thought it's like it mostly applies to younger men, I feel like, because once dudes get older, sometimes, they do kind of get more mature, but not always. So, you know. Yeah, and we've said this before too. I do feel like women are a lot more they're a lot more wideband, a lot more forgiving of looks if the dude has something else to offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, women aren't really that's not the primary
Not
driver.
really.
For men it is.
Yeah. Well, that's all visual. That's what Tammy was saying. Yeah. It's like they only care
now,
what girls
look, man,
like.
I've been there before. Fucking even in my 20s and 30s, where you score some chick and like visually she's like an 8.5. She's fucking gorgeous. She opens her mouth and you can't fucking stand her. All right, you're like, God, this bitch is fucking driving me up the fucking wall. Dumb. This bitch is dumb. Or, oh man, she's evil. She could be anything. You'll hit, but you'll try to get rid of her. It wears off very quick. Very quickly. So dudes aren't that dumb.
Yeah.
They're not that dumb. Some guys are like, yeah, she's fucking gorgeous. She fucking sucks though. I'm gonna fuck this for about a month and then I'm gonna get rid of her. Which we do that too. Because you don't have anything else going on.
Right.
Just because she's hot and you're fucking her doesn't mean you like her.
Yeah.
You're a man. You're there to impregnate a motherfucker. That's what you were programmed to do. It's true. It's what, especially
whereas,
when
like
you're
I
young.
said, I have a hard time, and I'm, and I know that not all women are like this because I've had some friends that were not, that they could absolutely like hate fuck somebody.
Yeah.
I can't do that, and I know a lot of women can't, but a lot of but I've known women that could do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, fair play to you. I can't do that. I can't have sex with somebody I don't at least like.
No one that said to remain nameless says that she would fuck the shit out of some ugly motherfucker. And the reason why it's happened is because dude is so ugly that it makes her feel gorgeous, and she's getting off on it.
I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
Well, Well, like I said, we talk about this a lot. We've been talking about it a lot more since we've like been getting into the porn industry and like and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like
the weird mind games women will do.
Well, that's what I keep telling you. It's just like
can't do that. If she's ugly.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like women are very, very complicated. It's like I know dudes have a hard time. We can't even figure our own shit out. I can't figure my own shit out. Okay,
women don't know what they want until they see it.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but the thing, well, it's not so much that. It's just that it's not so much that. It's just that our standards are nebulous.
Yeah.
Like you might have like standards in your mind. It's like, oh, if somebody asked you,
how tall does he have to be?
Like, what's your perfect man or something like that? Like, a woman would give you like some stats or whatever. But it's like if they meet a dude that doesn't have any of those, but he's like super cool or something, like, I mean, she might fall madly in love with that.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, so I feel like sometimes too, like dudes that maybe don't interact with real women a lot.
Yeah, it's like those manosphere guys.
They'll go like on dating websites and be like, look at these shallow bitches. It's like with all of this thing. But I'm like, dating websites make you put shit on there. It's like, this is what I'm looking for. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for. I don't know you. You could look like anything. You could be into anything. Like, if I like you and we connect, then it doesn't really matter.
In the juvenile manosphere, I think they're starting to fucking catch on to that.
Took long enough.
They're disseminating that information.
Took long enough.
That the women give stock answers.
Right. Because if you ask me, like, what's your... I don't have a type. What's your ideal man? I don't know.
It's the same thing.
I don't know.
And here's something that a guy would understand. If your guy says, fucking, describe a hot chick. You're going to say, oh, man, she's got a fucking real narrow waist, got nice hips, big old fucking booty, huge fucking titties on her. She's fucking gorgeous. That's what you're going to imagine. You're going to say, she's hot as shit. But then you see a girl who does not look like that at all, and for some reason you just think she's hot.
Right.
And she doesn't look like that at all.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to go for that one.
It's the same.
And she doesn't look like that at all. She's skinny as a rail and fucking nothing like what you were talking about. Somebody
her.
Like her haircut, her face, what she said, how she walks, the clothes she's got on, fucking her personality, you know what I mean? Some guys go, her personality. Man, you don't know what they're fucking talking about. A woman's personality is the main motivating driver behind her fucking sexuality. If she got a shitty personality, I'm telling you, I got pictures to prove, bitches. I've been with 9s before. All right, especially when I was younger. But they sucked. Fucking terrible. I'd rank them at the bottom. Starfish out on you, just lay like that. They didn't do anything during sex. I mean, just terrible in bed, some of them. Because they skate on their looks. The no skills, no personality at all. But then you find a girl who's physically, she's like a 6.5. But there's just something about her. She's just so fucking into you and so fucking animated and fucking just her personality, all of a sudden, she's a 6.5, but she's an 8, really, in total when you factor in the other fucking magical factors that the bitch has. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, the thing about it is, like, I'm not saying looks aren't important. They are.
Yeah, it's a mixture of a bunch of stuff.
But it is a mixture of a bunch of stuff. You could be like the hottest person in the world.
Yeah.
But if you're just like this blank charisma-free person, then it's like you might not get very far either. Like, you can get pretty far on your looks. I'm not saying that.
If you want looks and no charisma, just buy one of them damn sex dolls. Some of them girls were exactly like that.
Right, that's what I mean. Well, and the thing about it is that, like some people that are super hot, not just women, men too, like some people that are really, really good looking, they never really had to work for anything because they were good looking, so they kind of just got everything easily. Yeah. So they didn't really have to do anything else.
They didn't develop any personal skills.
Right. They didn't have to like have anything to back that up.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that a lot sometimes too, like, and sometimes you see this like with you know, people that were real hot when they were younger, and it's like they got all these, you know, they got boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. But then, like, once they get a little bit older and maybe they gain a few pounds or something like that, they don't have anything to back it up, and they're not really cute anymore. Yeah. So it's like they can't really skate by on their looks anymore. Yeah. They don't really have anything other than that because they didn't have to develop anything when they were younger.
Another thing that male escorts do is that they escort for other escorts. They're either going to be some boss bitch or they're going to be a hooker. Because a lot of fucking escorts can't have boyfriends. They're solo operators. They live a pretty lonely life. They're moving from one trick to the next, doing their little gigs. And they can't be honest with normal civilians about what they do for a living. So they'll find a male escort that they like, and they'll have a relationship with that guy that they pay for. Because they can be honest with that dude. Yeah. And then they can talk about the business.
Yeah, you can talk shop.
Right. And the thing is, though, is that she's got money. She's going to pay. If not, you're going to go out with some other one. And then they, from what I've heard, then all of a sudden they want loyalty. Because it's in a woman's nature to try to be in some kind of a relationship. They don't like these shallow transactions. And this is exactly what goes on in Japan with those host bars, where they have all these super, if you ask me, kind of effeminate looking pretty boys, where girls pay money to go sit at a table and drink with them all night and be entertained, and sometimes they have sex with them. Those are not civilian girls, those are hookers. Female hookers do business with male hookers. That's the economy. Because a civilian girl's not going to pay for that.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah. They can get a boyfriend. Hookers have a problem getting boyfriends. They gotta go to a professional who knows how to deal with them and their problems.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can see that.
And a lot of those guys, I've seen interviews with those male hosts in Japan, and they're nice guys. And a lot of them feel really bad about what they're doing because they say, here's the thing. These girls are eventually end up turning tricks to make all this money to spend on these fucking male prostitutes. Right. They're not paying their rent. They're not doing it. They're trapped in that lifestyle.
Right.
And they can't back out of it. Which I could kind of... And the dude is like, I actually like this chick. I wish she would stop doing what she's doing, but she can't because she's fucking got to come see me. Yeah. So I'm kind of behind her turning herself out. And they kind of felt guilty about it. Yeah. Even though, like, and he was, and the dude that I saw his interview, he's like, she didn't pay to have sex with me. She was paying to drink with me and be my friend. I actually was having sex with her because I liked her, but I can't have a relationship with her. I got to pay bills too.
Right.
So it's kind of not a natural situation.
Well, that's what I mean. It's kind of a shitty situation. Yeah, but, which, like I said, that's why, I mean, even if I was the kind of person that could do escorting, it's just, it just complicates everything too much. Even if I wanted to do it, which I don't.
I'm too protective. I'd never allow it.
I don't want to do it anyway.
Yeah, I would never allow it.
I'm just not that kind of person. I've never been that kind of person.
It's self-destructive behavior. I wouldn't allow you. I wouldn't allow you to do it. Hell
well,
no.
One, it's dangerous.
It's dangerous, it's self-destructive, and it's, no.
And like I said, you get into a thing where you can't really get out of it, I feel like.
Because we know girls that did it. And the one that I'm talking about, I talked to her recently, and she said she's been in and out of it. She can't quit.
That's what I mean.
And she's got that boyfriend. Who knows?
Right.
But every time she gets in trouble, she goes out and turns tricks. And if you saw this girl, you would never suspect.
Yeah, she's one of those, like...
She's like a yuppie. She looks like a yuppie. Yeah. She's totally fucking... She's not a goth girl or anything. No. You'd never suspect her.
See, it's always like... It's always the quiet ones.
She looks like
the ones you don't
good
suspect.
Girl. Yeah. She's a pro. Semi-pro right now. And she's fucked up about it. I said, how's everything been? Oh, pretty good. He says, did you end up quitting? She goes, no, I backslide a lot. Whenever we need money, I just do it. I can't stop it.
That's what I mean. Once you get into it, and she made a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like, once you get into it, and it's like, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's easy money because
it's addictive.
It wouldn't be easy for me because it's like, it sounds like one of my worst nightmares, to be honest with you. But because it's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to say I admire girls that can do that. It's not actually admiration, but it's just kind of like, I could never do that. No. I just could never do that. It's just, it's not me. I mean, you know me. I just, like, I'm not like that at all.
No.
I don't even like hanging out with people, like, for an extended period of time, like, in a non-sexual fashion.
We're entertainers. We're not that kind of an entertainer.
Right. That's what I mean.
There's got to be boundaries.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why the whole thing, like, us doing Stream Aid and stuff like that was predicated on just us doing it together in the house.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe eventually down the road we'll bring in another girl or something like that. But it's just like, we weren't really we're not bringing in a bunch of random ass motherfuckers. I'm not like going out like associating with random ass motherfuckers. I just don't want to do that.
And you look at the demographics.
It's not my thing.
And if you look at the demographics of the dudes that actually pay, that make it worthwhile to do that, it's all 65 plus guys. In other words, these are fucking senior citizens, senior citizen business owners. Because they're safer, they pay more money, they're nicer to the fucking girls than they are the younger guys who kind of treat women like shit and are more of a risk.
Yeah.
If you look at like Ayala, all of her customers are 65 plus.
Yeah.
$1,800 the first hour. And then it goes down to like $1,200 for every hour after that. The dudes are all married and come with references and fucking, you know what I mean? The wife's just shut them off years ago. So they're totally safe. And it cuts her workload down. That's why she does that.
Well, yeah, because it's like fewer people.
Fewer people and it pays more and you don't have to deal with dudes that are at risk.
Yeah. I mean, not saying that like older dudes can't be a risk because they can. You never know when they're going to flip out on you, but still.
I mean, those guys have too much to lose.
It's it's definitely less than a risk than some fucking dude in their 20s or 30s.
And they all come with references. They come from another girl.
Yeah.
So like you can't.
That's what I mean. You really
can't date
need
her
to,
unless you have references, and then she calls that reference and decides who it is, and then she looks at her online profile.
See, like I said, that sounds like entirely too much trouble. That's entirely too much trouble.
Yeah, well, they become regulars.
That just sounds like a fucking nightmare.
You don't want anything to do with that shit.
That sounds like a nightmare.
And then you got to cater to that motherfucker.
That's what I mean. I'm not good at that.
And those bitches, those bitches fucking are into fucking just boring ass shit, you know. They want to take you golfing and shit.
Oh, God. Please kill me.
And you got to pretend like this shit's exciting.
That's what I mean. And it's like, I'm not really good at that. I'm not good at, like, pretending that I like shit I don't like. Hey, let's go to, like, a college football game. Oh, God. Please just run me over with your car instead. It's like, I just can't. I mean, Tom knows me. He's known me for a long time. I'm just really, really not good. Like, man, if I really don't want to do something and I don't like doing any of that kind of like normie shit, I don't like doing any of that kind of stuff. So it's if I had to pretend to like do like all that shit, yeah, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. It's like even if I try to pretend, it's like after about 10 minutes I would get worn out and I would just start getting all sarcastic and then I would start like having anxiety attacks. So that's about how that would go. I'm just not like that. Just not like that. And that's what I was telling him before. I was like, that's why the only kind of like if you want to call it escorting or like live action like sex work I could do was like dominatrix shit where I didn't actually like have to have sex with the dude. I could just like step on his balls or like kick him in the nuts or whatever or make him eat out of a dog bowl or something. Like I could do that and like abuse him and stuff. I could do that. But it's like if I have to sit there and like pretend to be all into you and like pretend to like shit that you liked, which is really boring, and it's like, yeah, I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I don't think I could get away with that for 5 seconds. So, So like I said, this seemed like the good.
Wait, you want another drink? Or you okay? Yeah. What time? How long have you been streaming?
I don't know. 2 hours.
If you guys are having fun, fucking we'll continue. If not, we'll fucking shut the shit down.
I mean, I'm having fun.
You having fun? Okay, I'm having fun.
Camp Guy said, as a man at 61, I'm kind of gobsmacked trying to figure out an older woman. I'm not necessarily
about what?
About having to trying to figure out an older woman.
Oh.
I'm not necessarily interested in intercourse, but if I met an attractive older person, I would like to sit by a big bonfire in cold weather and snuggle up together without pressure to have sex. I mean, that sounds nice, actually. I just wish it was cold enough here that I could cuddle up by a fire, but we can't ever do that. But you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just... Like I said, it's kind of hard to say because I don't... Women are complicated, man. We're complicated. And I'm sorry we're like that. And we're all different. We're all complicated in different ways. And like I said, I know Tom was like making a joke. It's like they don't even know what they want half the time. It's like that's kind of dismissive, but in a way, it's kind of true. But like I said, I think it's kind of true of dudes as well. I don't think anybody really knows what they want because being asked in a situation like I said, what your ideal thing is or what you would like. I mean, yeah, everybody's gonna give their situation this, that, and the other, but that's never how it works out in real life. I mean, I think that's true for everybody. But like I said, women are kind of complicated. I don't even know what the fuck I'm thinking half the time, so I don't know how anybody else has any hope of figuring it out, to be honest. It's
like somebody says, how do you define porn? He says, I can't define porn, but you know when you see it. It's the same thing with fucking men and women. You can't really define what they're looking for, but they know what it is when they see it. And a lot of it has to do with character.
That's what I mean. It's just kind of like, I mean, when I was single, like after my divorce and everything, when I was out on the prowl, the dudes I met that I ended up hooking up with, not necessarily, if somebody had showed me like a photo lineup or something like that, like before I met them, not necessarily like maybe what I would have picked. I don't know, but like depending on what other photos you would show me. But it's like when I met them, there was something about them that was like very attractive to me. Like even depend, like not really depend on what they look like, but just like what their personality was like, or if they were into the same kind of shit as me or something like that. There was something about them that was like attractive. So I don't know, and I think that's true of most people.
What's that? I missed part of it. Look, let me tell y'all, young bucks, something. Even you old guys. Although a lot of you old guys probably already know this. Dudes do not understand the power of mystery. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk so fucking much, all right? Usually the less a woman knows about you, the fucking more attracted she is to you. Fucking now, you have to fucking cover certain baselines. You gotta look good. You gotta look different than the competition. You got to stand out. Don't talk so much. All right.
Well, I think that's true across the board.
This is across the board.
Because I kind of wish most people wouldn't talk so much.
Yeah. Let them wander. You attract their attention.
Although that's pretty funny coming from us, who just like who tell everybody everything.
Well, we're entertaining right now. We're entertaining. We're on the show.
Who just like talk about.
We're talking about in the wild.
Yeah. Camp Guy said yes. That's good advice. Yeah, I mean...
Who's my advice or your advice?
I guess yours.
Okay, yeah.
I guess. I don't know. But I'm just saying that people in general talk too much, too, and they talk too much about themselves, also. Like, especially when they're trying to, like, get to know somebody.
They're trying to say, I'm okay, here, this is what I do, I'm okay. Trying to get approval.
Yeah.
You don't want that either. You shouldn't really be worrying too much about it.
Well, I think that's kind of another thing, and I think that's what always made you very attractive to women, because you always have been. Tom has never had any problem at all, like, getting attention from women. Shit, man, even last weekend when we were at Ichiban at the Asian buffet.
Yeah.
He had some, like, older ladies, like, coming up to him I was at the table, like, eating, and he was up there getting some pot stickers or something. Old ladies love me. Old ladies coming up there, like, asking him for advice on what food they should get and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like one came. That's hilarious.
And then another one came.
He's always got the ladies, like...
And if I fucking keep talking, another one will come. I gotta get away from these old women. They're like in their 60s and 70s and shit. They're asking me about the intricacies of fucking pot stickers.
Trying to jump on that D.
That's not at that age. That's not what they're looking for.
Well, I don't know about that. They might be super horny old ladies.
They mostly just want any kind of attention or validation. It's talk to me, talk to me, talk to me.
Yeah.
You know, tell me I'm pretty.
Yeah.
You're not though, babe. You didn't fucking hold together.
Well, I mean the thing about ladies of all ages and appearances.
Yeah.
Like feelings, but everybody likes feeling special. Yeah. Nobody likes feeling like they're a nobody. I mean, that's a pretty human.
You know how I said earlier, you said you got women in their 70s or 60s that are hot as shit? Yeah, they're out there, but they're not common.
and they're not at the Asian buffet.
And they're not at the Asian buffet. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, we were there last Saturday, and I was like, we were, by far the best looking people in there.
Man, those people were fat. Whole families of them. I'm talking like 7 of them. We're in there, and fucking like a family of like 7 came in.
Were they? I think it was like a bunch of co-workers because they all had the same like uniform.
No, not those. I was talking about.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking.
It was a family of like parents. There's some grandparents, some parents, and some children. And some, they were white, except one of them was black. I don't know. I think they were related though.
Hold on, we lost the stream for a second. Okay, I think it's back.
Is it back? I don't think a single one of them was under 250 pounds. I think they were all at least 300 pounds.
Yeah, they were all very large people.
Yeah. The cutest one was probably 250.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, how's this
happening?
I mean,
it is an all-you-can-eat buffet.
It's all-you-can-eat buffet, so it's going to attract big people, but...
I mean, not only were we the best-looking people in there, I think we were also the thinnest people in there.
Yeah.
By quite a other than the employees.
Yeah. The Chinese dude that worked there fucking sees me and he's like, yeah.
We're just here for the protein.
Yeah, we're just here for the protein. Get shrimps. I'll sit there and eat a whole fucking plate of shrimp.
He will, yeah.
I might eat some tomorrow. We can go to our local all-you-can-eat buffet, the close one, just to get shrimp.
The cheap Chinese whore
that
you cheated with me on?
Tell them the story. Tell them the story. Jenny, I know exactly what Jenny's talking about. Jenny's story. Good. Tell them, Jenny.
Yeah, I might have told this story before, but it might have been like on one of the other shows. Yeah. I'm at work, right? I don't remember what day of the week it was. It was some fucking weekday, obviously.
It was like a Tuesday or something.
It was like a Tuesday or some shit like that. And I just get a random text, like on my phone, while I'm at work. And Tom said, all he said was, he said, I'm cheating on you with that cheap Chinese chick. And like I'm sitting at my desk and I just busted up laughing because it's like I knew exactly, like in seconds, like what he was talking about. He was talking about that closer. What the fuck is that place called?
I forgot the name.
I can't remember the name of it.
It's a Chinese.
It's a Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet, and it's the closest one to our house because, like I said, we always get a koi wan.
Cheap and tacky.
And we always get a koi wan, but that's far. It's like it's a long drive. It's like 20-something miles. And then we found Ichiban, which is 18 miles, and is a much easier drive. So we've actually been going to that one, and that was actually pretty good too. But there is one that's only 8 miles away, but it's not quite as good, and it's not quite as extensive.
Right. I
can't remember what it's called. But it's like, so he just sent me that text out of the blue, and I just like busted up laughing because I knew exactly like what he meant, like as soon as he said.
So I'm cheating on you with that cheap Chinese hoe.
Because whenever
cheap Chinese chick, what I said.
That cheap Chinese chick.
Yeah. She knew what I was talking about.
And I knew what he was talking about. Well, like I said, whatever, because we always do that thing where, because sometimes, because I work during the week, so I can't, like, be home and I can't go anywhere. So every now and then, like, he'll go out to eat and he'll just send me a text like, I'm cheating on you at, like, whatever. Yeah. It's all food cheating.
Yeah, it's food cheating.
Because I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm sitting in my 95-degree car, like, eating crackers.
Yeah.
And you're, like, getting good shit. You know what I mean? But yeah. Tammy said, I worked in nursing homes. Some old people still want sex. Oh, yeah. And I've heard that some old folks' homes are just, like, fucking rife with STDs.
Yeah.
Like, big time. Because they're all, like, horny and stuff. Which,
my friend,
I get that.
Gramthars knows who I'm talking about. He's my friend up in Michigan. His name is fucking Mike Kowalski. He owns a ambulance service. He got 3 or 4 ambulances and big old fucking paramedics. He's got a paramedic service company. And one of his regular customers is an old folks home. He's in there all the time picking up people as they're dying and shit. And he said that place was like a fucking orgy.
I've heard that.
That he knew the dudes that had been in there for years who were fucking slowly dying and living in there. And fucking he'd shoot the shit with them. And like, there'd be guys like, oh yeah, I fucked her. And I fucked that one. And I fucked these bitches. And they'd be talking like they were in the middle school.
Yeah.
Or high school. He's like, oh yeah, you hit that? He goes, oh yeah, that one's fucking sweet. And
I believe it.
They'd be fucking and shit. And the nurses would try to break it up. And they would fucking lock the doors and try to fucking keep...
Why though? They're adults.
It's just the way the mentality. I don't understand it. They think that they're out of it, I guess.
I mean, maybe, but as long as nobody's getting, like, exploited, they're not, like, in there having sex with women that are, like, fucking unconscious. Mike
said that they would go in there in teams. Like, one dude would fucking stand outside the door, like a lookout.
He's the lookout.
Another dude would be inside the door, holding the door shut, while the other guy was fucking cracking his fucking girlfriend.
Okay, so they have this all planned.
They had a system. Yeah. Then they would, like, trade up. You know,
now like, you hold the door.
You hold the door. And go to another one and do that. They had a whole fucking system to full security.
I kind of feel, like I said, as long as no one is being exploited, as long as nobody has dementia or anything like that.
I think they all kind of had a little bit of dementia.
I mean, maybe, but it does seem like, I don't know. And I kind of feel like that's why, I kind of feel like a lot of elderly people maybe don't want to go to these homes, because it's like you kind of lose your dignity a little bit. And they don't treat you like an adult anymore.
Yeah, they treat you like a baby.
They treat you like a baby.
And
like, you're not allowed as like, hey, I'm a grown-up. Like,
they couldn't have sex.
Which is crazy.
They wouldn't allow them to have sex.
That's crazy to me.
It may not be like that anymore. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was like back in the fucking late 90s. He was telling me that.
I don't know. But like I said, I see where they're coming from with it. Like they're erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Just in case. But it still does seem like these are still adults.
Yeah.
And if they have all their faculties, then give them privacy, like, and let them do adult shit like adults would do. You know what I mean? Tammy said we were taught we were not allowed to stop them if they wanted to have sex because they were adults. Well, that's good because that's what I was just saying. This I said, as long as nobody is like being exploited or
this evidently was up in Michigan. I mean, I know it was Michigan, but evidently Michigan might have different rules. At least they did in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think is when you told me about that. So I don't know the situation. It might have been that they were all kind of like borderline dementia.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was the thing. Maybe they knew that those particular people, they're like, they're not right, so we really need to, like, control what they're doing. But other than that, I feel like if they still have all their faculties and stuff, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't just treat them like a grown-up, you know? At least let them have some dignity, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Cam guy says that they're $5,000 to $10,000 a month for nursing.
Some of them are, yeah.
Yeah, some are real expensive.
Some of them are. Camp guy says, I'm still fairly happily married. He was talking about the hypothetical situation before about finding a woman or whatever. So I'm still fairly happy married, so I'm just imagining a situation. I did have one occasion just last year where I traveled to a conference by myself. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't think too much about it, to be honest with you. It's funny because me and Tom were talking about this. If you guys remember, how many years, was this 2 years ago now? It must have been 2 years ago. So it was 2 years ago, I went on vacation to St. Augustine. And I went for 5 days, and I went by myself. And I had a great time, actually. I went there by myself, and I stayed in an Airbnb, and I just went to all the museums. I went to the Leitner Museum, I went to the Pirate Museum, I went to the Ripley's Museum, and it's like I ate croissants and walked around and looked at all the history and looked at all the fort and stuff like that. And it was like super, super fun. And I didn't really think anything about it. And then like later on, Tom said to me that that he had thought, he's like, I didn't really think that you had cheated on me, but he's like, I was kind of thinking about like you could have, like, because you were gone all that time. And I thought that was so, so funny that he had said that, because it's like, honestly, it never occurred to me. It never occurred to me. I was just excited to like go there by myself and like run around and do all this fun shit. And it's just like, that was literally the last thing in my mind. It never even occurred to me. I just thought that was so, so funny. That he thought, I said that's kind of maybe the difference between how dudes think and how women think. Because that was literally the last thing that I ever even thought of, you know?
I missed it. What are you talking about?
Oh, I was talking about that, Remember a couple years back when I took that trip to St. Augustine?
Yeah.
And then you were telling me later that it's like, oh, I was kind of thinking that maybe like you'd had the opportunity to like cheat on me or whatever.
Yeah. What about
and it's like, and I just thought that was so funny because I was like, that literally like never occurred to me. Like the whole time I was there, I was like, I was having such a fun time. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the pirate museum.
Well,
I'm gonna go look at all this. I'm gonna go eat some croissants or like get some fresh fish or something like that. It literally never crossed my mind. It really didn't. It really didn't.
No, you know, guys can interpret it like, well, she might be maybe she needs to take a break. Yeah, you know, that's. But yeah. I wasn't sure. I thought it was maybe 50-50. But it, you know.
Really.
Yeah.
That's just really fun. Like I said, that's funny. That's like.
I didn't hold it against you.
But like I said, it literally never occurred to me.
Yeah.
It literally never occurred to me. I was just, like I said, I was just excited. I was gonna.
Jenny and I have a special relationship.
I went to.
We have a special.
Like I said, I was excited to go to all the museums. Yeah. I would go to all the museums all day. I went to the alligator farm. That was super fun. That was like most of the day. And then I would come back to my Airbnb and I would lay in the bed by myself, and I would put MST on the TV.
Yeah.
And I would read a book, and I would drink a cup of coffee, and then I would go to sleep.
That's literally all that happened. Jen and I had been together fucking like 24/7 for probably like 7 years.
Yeah, probably a long time.
Probably about 6 years.
No, more than that. It was more than that. I think it was 10 years.
Like 10 years, right.
10 years.
So she needed a vacation, you know. But, you know what I mean? Fucking when a guy has a vacation and goes somewhere, you know what I mean? You know, we know how that is, you know, when you're a guy. So I thought it was a possibility. I thought, you know, but I was like, well, she's been good though, you know. She's been a good
I just
girl.
thought that was so funny.
I didn't know if she was meeting somebody there. It might have been a fan. I don't know. You know, and it was really none of my business. We're not married. You know.
But I just thought that was so funny.
You know.
I thought that was so funny that you thought that, because like,
I didn't think that.
Yeah.
I said I thought it was a possibility.
Oh, okay.
You know, I didn't think that you did anything, but I thought it was a possibility. I didn't worry about it.
Literally never occurred.
What, you mad? I'm not jealous?
No. I just thought it was. I'm just pointing out like how funny the difference was.
I wasn't sure.
Because I just needed a break from, not you necessarily, but just from this whole situation. Like, because I'd been working so much, and it's just kind of like, I was like, I just need to get away. And also, I kind of wanted to do some stuff.
When a guy's going to do that, he's going to fuck somebody. You guys can chime in the comment section. That's a guy's interpretation.
So every time you go someplace without me, is that what you mean?
No. I'm saying if a guy's going to go on vacation somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Fucking gonna leave home for a while to get away from the. There's most likely gonna be another woman involved.
No, I just mostly wanted to do stuff that
she's gonna be a pro.
That I knew that you didn't really want to do, because it's like you don't want to spend all day going to museums, and you don't want to spend all day. You don't want to do that kind of shit. But I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, you know. Well,
so I wanted to.
If a guy's gonna do that, he's gonna make all kinds of excuses. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it through a guy's eyes. I'm going like anything's possible.
Yeah,
anything's possible. But no, if a guy's gonna do something like that, fucking, it's not gonna be fucking, you know what I mean, like somebody, you know, like your sister or fucking or your best friend or anything. It shouldn't be. It's gonna be some professional, most likely. You know what I mean? But so I didn't know. Now women don't operate that way, but dudes do.
Yeah, we know.
Dudes do. Yeah.
But I just thought that was kind of funny
because you want somebody who's not gonna tell on you. That's all it is. And it's just somebody who's not going to give you any problem. That's guaranteed. You're going to give her the money, and she's not going to tell on you. And then she's going to vanish.
Well, that's part of what you're paying her for.
That's what you're paying her to get her the fuck out of there. You know, you don't want her to follow you.
Tammy said Jenny cheated on you with a pirate or an alligator.
Yeah. That's all. Shit, I'd like to have a video of that.
Being a pirate.
Yeah, sell that shit on StreamMate.
I really do like the pirate museum there. I wish that it wasn't so full of children. That was the only thing. I probably shouldn't have gone in the summertime. That's probably another thing. I think if I go again, I'll go in winter. But just because all the kids were out of school, and the pirate museum, as cool as it is you know, the kids love that shit. So
Cam guy says he would not like to see an old man with a boner. Shit, man, fucking that shit's all over. That you'd be able to find that easily. On, well,
it depends
on fucking something like X Hamster.
Depends on what their wang looks like.
Yeah, they got all kinds of movies with that the focus is real old dudes with fucking real young women. You know, they got that out there. Old and young porn. There's a whole
everything's out there.
There's a whole thing of that.
every single thing you can think of, and lots of things you probably can't think of.
Most of the old dudes that do that, actually, their bodies don't look that bad. Most of the age shows in the face and the head, and depending on how lean he is. But in leaner kind of older guys, if you didn't see the head, you wouldn't know how old that dude was.
So just cut his head off and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. Ben says, my grandma in her 90s and mother in her 70s were always talking about how suspicious they were of any males in grandma's retirement home becoming too friendly because they're after someone to look after them. That's what the old ladies in the home said.
What does that mean?
Meaning that I guess like old guys are
trying to get laid?
Well, no, I don't think it's that. I think that a lot of them are probably widowed.
Oh, they want
like widowers, so they want some. Yeah.
Okay,
so they want like another, like somebody that's like their wife that's gonna like take care of them, like in their old age.
Those are dudes that didn't have any skills to begin with. They probably couldn't cook or anything.
Yeah, see, that's one thing about Tom. He can cook.
Oh yeah.
He can do all his own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Except shave his back. So I gotta do that.
Yeah, Jen's my bag. Jen comes home from work and I'll have fucking food cooked. Fucking Stromboli, I have everything, you know, I'm like a damn housewife. It's ridiculous.
He's already got it on my desk.
I have that shit ready for
when I come home.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I know, I love it.
Most women don't get that. Homemade fucking ricotta cheese and everything.
I know. You like to cook though.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So it's not like I never thought of you that way as like a kind of I'm just kind of like, well, I'm the kind of motherfucker that's
I'm just trying to make
like,
it easier for you to
that's what I mean. It's just like whoever is free at the moment, like, and has to do the shit that we're both gonna then they'll do it. You know what I mean? Like like I said, and I came home from work yesterday and you were like, I need you to shave my back.
Yeah. And
I was like, okay. But you shaved my head also. Because he had to shave my head also because I had to dye my hair. But you know what I mean. Camp Guy said, I can still chub up every day at 61. So yeah, I'm not...
Go on test. It'll get even better.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about like age so much anymore, especially since I'm kind of getting up there myself, but... And especially because nowadays it's really not the same as it used to be.
It depends on the person.
I mean, it depends on the person. Like, I have seen some people that were younger than me that, yeah, but...
I think genetics is partially a factor, but I think the biggest factor is diet and lifestyle. If you live a sedentary lifestyle and you've gained a bunch of weight, it's hard to reverse the damage of having a lot of weight on you. It can be done, but you'll never really fully recover. Not without surgery, because you have a lot of loose skin. Especially if you're young, you might be able to absorb a lot of it, but when you're older,
that's kind of what they don't tell you. Like if you lose a lot of weight if you're older.
Yeah, you lose a lot of weight when you're older. You're gonna
which is good. You should, but it's like you might not. You might not look as awesome as you thought you would.
But if you're smart, all the technology, all the biotechnologies out there, when you want to use hormone replacement and more. I have therapeutic cycles of steroids, fucking lifting weights, cardio, good diet. Don't abuse your body with alcohol and drugs too much. Although, look, your body's fucking amazing. You can get drunk. You can get high. As long as you don't overdo it, you can shake it back.
I mean, everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation.
Like, we drink a lot sometimes, but we don't drink every day.
We don't drink every day,
right. It's not like we're not, I wouldn't call us alcoholics or anything.
Mm.
I do like a drinker but not every day, though.
We're pretty physically active. She works out, I work out. Got a gym right over there.
Yeah, right in the next room.
Right in the next room.
Matter of fact. Zach says...
what we need to get you, Jen?
What's that?
We need to get you those damn elastic rubber bands to work your legs.
Yeah, I used to have some of those, actually.
Yeah,
I don't know what
so you could do the outside of your thighs and shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I used to have some of those.
We need some of those. And you can do some resistance, too.
Zach says, my last couple relationships have been open, so cheating isn't exactly a problem now, is it? I feel like gay dudes have a lot easier time with that. That seems very common.
It's all just dudes.
That's what I mean. I think maybe that's why, because it's all dudes, and they're dudes. Like, yeah, we know how dudes are.
Yeah, we all dudes, and fucking, and they all into each other, you know. Yeah, another one. Yeah, okay, fine. Well, that's another thing is, Jen. I wouldn't say Jen's full on bi, but Jen likes certain girls, and fucking,
I do like
we fooled around a little bit, and so it's not quite the same, you know what I mean, for Jen as it would be like gay dudes, but it's not the same. And me and Jen get a little girlfriend. It's not the same as a full on relationship with somebody else all the time, because they usually have their own lives, then they go back to their husbands, and it's just. We don't really take it that seriously. They're friends of ours, though. They're not just like random people.
Yeah, we're not real big on.
We're not sluts.
Yeah,
we're not sluts.
Like
we gotta know you. We gotta like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to have hung out with you for a lot and like you as a person before anything like that's gonna happen.
And they tend to be real cuties. Yeah, pretty much.
Because, like I said, I have a hard time just like.
Yeah.
I can't.
You don't want to do random people.
That's what I mean. I can't really get into like doing random. It's like I have done that, but it's just like I don't. It's not really.
Yeah, those are dudes though.
That's what I. Yeah, not random chicks, but just like random dudes. But
standards are kind of higher for women.
Yeah, well, we have a lot more to lose.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy.
No, I'm just saying if you're gonna hook up with some girl, you're gonna fucking women. If women's gonna hook up with a girl, the standards are gonna be higher for that girl. Than a guy, because there's got to be a reason why. And fucking update. Jen's main one that she wanted me to fucking get for us. Fucking I'm just gonna call her Saint Mary. Turns out she got a boyfriend. She moved away to fucking to Daytona, but she'll be back around. She'll be back around. She's gonna be coming to Memento
next Friday.
I
thought it was this Friday, but it's not. It's next Friday.
Yeah, she's cute though. She's cute. I didn't know that she was Mexican or half Mexican.
Yeah, we didn't. We found her on Facebook. Well, he found her on Facebook.
I found her on Facebook.
He's like.
He's
trying to like every time like I'm kind of like, hey, that girl's cute or something like that. He always like goes behind my back and like tries to like find her.
Yeah,
and then he tries to like hook it up.
I try to hook it up.
Well, he knows I'm not gonna do it because I'm like kind of shy. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing: is fucking. I'm not trying to get anybody laid or anything. That's not exactly what it was. The shit could have been platonic. Jen just needs some friend that she could geek out with, you know what I mean, and fucking hang out with.
He's trying to find me like some nerdy horror girl.
She's got to be like a nerdy horror girl. She got to be a nerd. Jen likes nerds and somebody to hang out with.
Yeah, I'm into girl nerds.
Be her buddy.
I mean, I'm into boy nerds too, but I like girl nerds.
Yeah.
I want like another horror nerd like him. Or another like MST nerd.
Right. So she found out what I was doing.
Well, I mean, we weren't real subtle.
We weren't real subtle about it. She was funny about it. I am straight.
It was at Mannequins.
Like, well, yeah.
We used to see her all the time, and I was like, she is so cute. Look at her.
Yeah. We liked her.
Yeah, she's super cute. And she's super funny.
Yeah.
She's just super funny. And I was like, that girl is just adorable. And so Tom's like, I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her for you. So he's like trying to, and I was just like, oh God, I don't want to be involved. Well, I don't want to know what's going on.
What happened was that she was kind of sweet on me, but she didn't know I had a girlfriend. She saw you and she got scared.
I am kind of scary.
Like she felt like she was.
Although I told you I was like, I'm not scary. I don't know what she's scared
of. She thought that she was stepping on your territory. So I was like, no, it's okay. Come meet Jen. And she's like, oh, no. And evidently, some of our friends said, no, you can meet Jen. They get girlfriends. And she's like, oh, I'm not into that. So she fucking.
So some of our other friends
fucking kind of like portrayed it in a certain way that.
It's not entirely accurate. We haven't really done it that many times.
No, a couple times.
Just a couple times.
Yeah.
It's not like we're constantly on the prowl.
Everybody
like
knows.
In fucking Dangerous Liaisons or something like that. We're not like that.
Yeah. No, we're regular people.
It's almost like it's because it kind of comes across like we're like some predatory assholes, like in The Hunger, like we're going around like looking for somebody so we can like
what it is.
Drain their blood or something. It's like we don't do that. We've only done it like once or twice. It's it's not really that big.
So she's like, our friends got a hold of her and scared her.
Oh, okay.
Accidentally, not on purpose.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they were just, oh, no. She's like, yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
It's fine.
They're all...
it's fine.
Those bitches are always doing it.
They always do that.
And then that scared her even more. We're not that bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then she came over later with the little guy that she was seeing at the time. Remember that goofy little motherfucker? He was funny. I thought he was funny, actually. Guy kept throwing himself on the floor and doing the fucking backflips and shit.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. She's not with that dude, though. She fucking got a handsome guy, vampire looking dude.
Yeah, I've never seen him, but I've seen a picture of him.
Yeah, she was like, I need a new place to live. I am very low income. I said, you are?
Me too, babe.
Yeah.
Me too.
You're low income? It's just fucking fun.
Tom's always trying. He was also trying to hook me up with the nerdy girl that works at the Publix bakery.
Yeah.
Who is like way young. She's like young enough to be my daughter, dude. Like
that's okay.
That'll
work. Kaylee was like our daughter.
Oh. Yeah.
Before she died.
That sucks.
That's a girl that died.
That's terrible. She passed away.
But
cancer. She was very young.
Yeah. Boy, man, that's sad.
I know. Yeah, you just brought the whole fucking show down. Thanks a lot.
I fucked it up.
Yeah.
But no, that was just I saw that one. I saw that one in the parking lot. And I go, there she is for you, Jen. Jen was like, yeah.
Every time.
Like, yeah.
Every time, like he sees like a little wispy nerdy girl.
Yeah, with glasses.
There's your girlfriend.
There she is.
And I'm just like, all right. Is she into horror movies?
We walked in. We were in Publix, and she walks by, and I said, "How are you doing?" And she goes, "How are you doing?" And Jenny goes,
like,
"You player, you."
And I was like, "Oh man."
I'm like,
I see her every now and then.
You see her, when you go in there and you see her? See her? You didn't talk to her?
Not really. I mean, I went to the Publix the other day, and she was behind.
Does she recognize you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Because you're not dressed up, you come back from work when you go there.
Yeah, so I'm not like as fancy as I would be normally.
You don't look as goth.
As I would be on the weekend.
She's kind of a little bit goth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you never can tell with the younger ones, you know, it's like you don't really. Well, yeah, but you don't really know what they're into. You know what I mean? Like back in the old days, if you saw somebody that was into that, like you'd know they'd be like into most of the same shit as you. But nowadays,
she's not that young. She's probably 26.
That's young. That's still young enough to be my kid.
That's almost 30.
Almost.
That's an adult.
I know it's an adult.
I was out of the service by that time.
I know it's an adult. I'm just saying she's young enough to be my daughter. It might be a little weird. I don't know. I don't really think of it as that weird, but I don't know.
Yeah, so many people we know of all these different ages. It doesn't fucking really matter.
That's true. I guess I don't really think about it all that much.
You're not remembering all these people at the club that we know that are about that age. And it doesn't fucking.
Well,
matter.
when you talk to them, you don't really get the sense that they're half your age. You know what I mean? Because they talk about the same shit that you like, and
they're not treating you as an old person.
Right? Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing. Like it kind of works both ways. Like everyone's just kind of on the same page, so it doesn't really, which is kind of nice, actually. You know.
Yeah. All kinds of sexual talk going on in there.
Michael says, "You ain't no moderate drinkers, haha."
Yeah, okay.
I mean, well, okay. Compared to the average, I would say we drink more than average. Okay, I do. I will admit that.
No, they're
for an American.
For an American, yeah. It's
not as far as like
to a European or a British person or a fucking Irish person.
Now, when I lived in the UK,
girlfriend, she was fucking.
When I lived in the UK, I was flabbergasted. By how much they drank.
Yeah.
But and it was just like which is fine. It was just like a casual thing. It's like every day, man. They would just drink, and it's just kind of like I said, we drink a lot when we go out. We drink a lot when we do the show. But it's like when we're not doing the show or we're not going out, we don't usually. You know, so it's not like we
got other shit we gotta do, man.
That's what I mean, and it's like usually like I work every day like for many hours, and then on the weekends we're usually doing other stuff. We're usually working on other. I'm usually doing videos. We're doing stuff for StreamMate or like videos for that or something like that. So we can't be too fucked up. You know what I mean?
But as far as the girlfriends thing go, fucking these little nerds that I'm trying to dig up for, it doesn't have to be a fucking sexual thing. I'm just looking for a buddy that Jen can hang out with and have friends. She needs a girlfriend, a female friend.
So I can nerd out.
She can nerd out.
So he doesn't have to listen to me nerd out about horror movies.
No, because I hang out with dudes. I can go hang out with other bikers on shit and bike night and go down to fucking, you know what I mean?
You haven't been to bike in a while now.
No, but it's because the times and what's been going on.
Well, last Tuesday was 4th of July, so you couldn't really go that way. Nice.
So, you know what I mean? But Jen needs a buddy. And, she's got a lot of them. It's just that they're working.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard for me to like hang out with them.
Yeah.
And we live in Eustis, and we live kind of far away from them, and it's just like so I can't really like every now and then like some of us will like kind of go to downtown Sanford or something like that, but we haven't done that in a really long time. And honestly, I don't know. To be honest, whenever I'm gonna like nerd out about horror with somebody, it's usually a dude, which is which is bad in this day and age. Because I know there's a lot of chicks that like horror too, but it's like I don't meet a lot of them, or at least a lot of them that are like as nerdy about it as I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's
they got their own show.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, they have their own fucking shit going on. You know who nerds out with horror with horror movies about is Dimitri.
Yeah, Dimitri, he nerds out on horror. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I didn't know he watched it that much.
Oh shit, he loves that shit. Well, and he's always asking me for like recommendations and stuff.
Okay.
And he's seen like some weird like more obscure shit than I've seen, so we always kind of like trade like fucking recommendations.
Dimitri's our club buddy. He's the
DJ at Memento.
DJ Memento, yeah. And his wife, I think we've shown pictures of her. And their daughter. That family there is a fucking trip, man. That daughter of theirs was a cute little like 12-year-old one day, and then the next day she's fucking 18 and pregnant and fucking running off with some dude. And it happened. It seemed like it happened overnight, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean it was years and years. It was years and years.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember them coming to our house.
His wife's name is Jen too.
Yeah.
She is the lead singer of a band called fucking
13th Angel.
13th Angel.
Like an industrial
long
band.
Black hair, pretty woman. And it's funny. The daughter looks like a perfect combination of both of them.
Yeah.
She's got Dimitri's nose.
Yeah. And
the rest of her looks like Jen. Looks like Jen with Dimitri's nose.
Yeah.
Dimitri's fucking Greek.
Yeah.
He's a Greek American. We've known they can do it for fucking a long time now. Probably what? 13 years? No. 10 years at least, huh?
Yeah, a long time. It's been at least a decade.
Yeah. Then did club business with him.
Well, like I said, Memento's still going.
Yeah, he's always wanting me to fucking cook, man. He wants to come over and fucking eat fucking Indian chickpeas and shit.
Ever since
and
they
butter chicken.
Ever since they came to the house and you made butter chicken that time, he still hasn't stopped talking about that butter chicken.
Dude, when are you gonna make butter chicken again, man? You know, fucking.
Your butter chicken is out of this world. I'm gonna say.
Well, I got 3 different ones I make.
I know, but I mean they're all good. Ben said if you lived in the UK, you would drink that much too. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it's probably not as active. Probably not as much to do there actually. Probably like being in Boston, because I lived in Boston, which is very much kind of like London. I've heard, maybe the way London used to be. It looks like England. There's not a lot to do there except drink. Fucking pubs everywhere. Drinking and clubbing and working. That's it.
Well, that's kind of what everybody does. They go to the pub. You know what I mean?
There's no outdoor activities. You know, you can't ride a motorcycle or shoot guns or fucking,
A lot of people do outdoor shit, like they'll go like play soccer and shit like that, because there's a lot of sports grounds and stuff. Right. And actually, when I lived over there, they I would go to the sports center and swim. And there was like a lot of people there swimming.
America in general, the North American continent, and the life inside depends on what state you're in too, and the regions. It's all different because it's like it's basically like the EU. It's a bunch of different countries. In general, North America has more in common probably with Australia than it does England. Probably closer to Australians.
Yeah, I always kind of thought that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say because there's so many different. I mean, the U.S. is so big and it has so many different
regions and shit. I like the desert region. Because when I was a kid, I used to love it. But I like the fucking Florida. Florida's like the jungle region. This is subtropical.
Or swamp, actually.
Swamp. Mississippi was kind of like that, too. It's kind of like the Mekong Delta in a certain way. Fucking coniferous forest, fucking subtropical, hot, fucking humid. Louisiana, same thing. There's more Dagobah.
I'm not into it, man. I don't like this constant swamp ash, you know what I mean?
Northeast is just kind of cold and dry.
See, I prefer that. I'm more into cold, dry, rainy, or rainy. I like cold and rainy also.
Just not as much freedom. It's too much population density. I'd rather. I kind of would probably like the fucking Midwest. If Michigan was okay, kind of depressing. Wintertime, it's kind of like American version of Siberia. Some of that stuff like Wyoming and the big plains states, those might be pretty nice. There's probably not a lot to do out there, but and I liked certain elements of old California. I wouldn't like it now. But I liked California as a kid. It's too built up now. Too many problems. One thing good about California, though, is it had beautiful mountains. Sierra Nevada mountains were great. Yosemite, Yellowstone Park. Man, this is nice.
Camp guy said if I drink a lot, I have to pee about every 45 minutes. Yeah, same.
Same with me, man.
I'm not quite as bad,
minutes.
but it's like if we drink before we go to sleep, then I'll wake up 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Like to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And camp guy said, I heard a dude in an AA meeting say he used to piss the bed because he was too drunk to get up. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of that happen. I've personally never had that happen, but I have heard of other people have that happen. And I think we've told this story on the show before. But one night, I can't remember where we went. I think we were at Mannequins or Barbarella, like Memento Mori. And we came home and we went to sleep. And then I woke up at 3, 4 in the morning, something like that. And Tom was standing, like, at the end of our bed is, like, this... It's one of those benches that you can, like, lift and you can put shit in, you know what I mean? So he was just standing there. And like I said, it was very paranormal activity. Because, like, I woke up, it's, like, the middle of the night. And I'm waking up, and he's just, like, standing there, like, still. And I was like, oh, this is fucking creepy. This is just, like, paranormal activity. And I was like, what you doing? And he said, pissing. And I was like, are you peeing on the floor? And he's like, and then I guess he was asleep, but he was like so drunk that he was like sleeping that he thought he was in the bathroom. He hadn't actually peed on the floor or anything like that, but he didn't actually know where he was. And he's like, oh shit. And then like he went to the bathroom. But it's just kind of like, I could see that happening. I mean, I've been drunk enough where that could have happened, but luckily that's never happened to me. But I've been drunk enough where it probably could have happened. Michael says, I was telling the story about how I woke up in the middle of the night that time and saw you, like, standing there thinking you were peeing.
Yeah, I thought I was pissing.
Because I was like, I said, I was creeped out because I said it was just, like, paranormal activity. I don't know if you saw that movie, but it's just, like, you were just standing there still and it was creeping me out.
Yeah.
Michael says, why is Tom always repping Canon?
Why, what?
Your shirt.
Oh, dude, I made this shirt, bitch. Jen actually did all the graphics. I made the fucking, the screen for it. And I shoot it every now and then. I'll get a shirt and I'll turn it into a fucking Canon shirt. This is the fucking greatest fucking B-movie company of all time. Superman 4? Come on, man. I just remember
all the Chuck Norris movies.
Fucking, yeah. Hell yeah. Canon Films.
Being Canon Films.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I associate it with. Mm-hmm. Tammy said, I'm already looking forward to winter. This heat is killing me. Yeah, same. I know, I was thinking about it today. I'm like, only a few months until it's autumn. I mean, it'll still be hot here, but at least it won't be summer anymore. Camp Guy said, alcohol affects different people in different ways. I know a lady that started drinking, and she was dead within 2 years. Holy shit.
Camp Guy says, I think I've heard Tom talk about different effects on different people. What exactly is he talking about?
Alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like everything else.
Yeah,
it's
everything affects people different.
Honestly, I didn't even really, and I think I've mentioned this before, I didn't really even start drinking until I was in my 30s, probably. Yeah. Like, I would drink every now and then, like when I was a teenager in my 20s or something, but it wasn't really something I did all that much. But it wasn't really until I was, like, maybe in my 30s. Then I started clubbing, and then I started, regularly, and I started drinking more. But... So, I don't know. I figure I'm probably okay. Because I didn't grow up with it. My parents didn't really drink. They didn't really care that much about it. So, it wasn't really in the house or anything like that.
Why are you biting me?
Is Pookie biting you?
She's trying to. You need that much attention when you're trying. She wants to fucking play.
Ben says, I once was so drunk, I slipped in the kitchen and fell into the rubbish bin and couldn't get out. I don't mean to laugh, but it's like, I'm trying to, what's the most fucked up shit I did when I was drunk?
Most fucked up thing you ever did when you were drunk is smack me, we were driving home, you smacked me on the top of the fucking head.
Well, I remember that.
Called me all kinds of motherfuckers. And then started throwing up, and you wouldn't roll the window down in time. And I'm driving, and you threw up outside the window all down the side of the car.
Oh, I remember
and
that.
in the inside of the car. And the next day I had to fucking blast it all out hose. That was the most fucking.
And I remember being messed up because I'd been drinking, I think, vodka and cranberry all night, and when I came out and saw the throw up on the side of the car, I thought I was throwing up blood because it was all red, and then I was like, oh yeah, it was cranberry.
So, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was funny.
It was pretty funny.
She was hitting on top of
in hindsight. I don't remember what you did, but you did something to piss me off.
You accused me of something. I don't remember.
Well, you probably did some fucked up shit. You probably said some fucked up shit. You're always saying fucked up shit.
It doesn't matter. It was one of those you don't love me things.
Because you're always saying fucked up shit. You're always saying fucked up shit.
No, I wasn't.
I never fell in a rubbish bin, though. Now, one time, this was before me and you got together, but I think I did, I was out with this dude that I was dating, and we got kind of drunk, and we were having sex on the hood of a car in front of someone's house, like just parked on the side of the road. So we did that, but...
Yeah, they're talking about Charles Bronson and Can't. Yeah, well, the sex on the hood, yeah. I did that shit in high school, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I was just like, that was something that just came to mind.
Yeah.
Hopefully the neighbors didn't look out the window, but, you know.
No, let them see, man. Let them see.
Tammy said, we all know you deserved it, Tom.
No.
You probably did. I don't remember what it was, but
the more drunk she got, the more sensitive she gets. And that was a different time too.
That's true.
That was another time. I don't think we quite had the same understandings about things back in those days. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. We have kind of like gotten to a new...
Kind of chilled out.
We've kind of chilled out as we've gotten older, I guess. Zach says, most drunk I've ever been was the first time I had honey-flavored Jack Daniels.
Oh, that's just
which, holy shit, that's the grossest shit I ever tasted.
I remember it being pretty good.
I know, I actually like...
you have to drink that on the rocks. You can't mix that.
Yeah, and I can see if you drink too much of it, then it'd probably be, like, overwhelming, because it is kind of sweet.
I had that Jim Beam apple. Green
I like
apple.
that, too.
That shit was good. Wasn't it Jim Beam or was it Jack Daniels?
Yeah, well, Jack Daniels makes an apple, too, which is also good. They taste kind of similar.
Okay.
But the one that we had was Jim Beam.
I think it was Jim Beam. Jim Beam apple.
Yeah.
Shit was really good. It's a sipping whiskey, you know. Just put it over ice. Drink it.
Yeah, it's not really one. Although I will admit, the honey one. Somebody gave me a big bottle. My friend Liz gave me a big bottle of honey Jack Daniels for Christmas one year, and I had it in my car. And we went to a concert at the House of Blues at Downtown Disney, and we had to wait in line for a really long time. So we stopped at 7-Eleven and got a big gulp, and poured a substantial dollop of the honey Jack Daniels in there, so we wouldn't have to buy so many drinks when we went inside because they're very expensive. And we just sat out there and like fucking drank from this big gulp that also had like a whole lot of whiskey in it.
I think Jack Daniels also had that cinnamon flavor, didn't it? Or was that Jim Beam?
I mean, yeah, I think they both do.
I think it was called Fire or something.
I don't really like the cinnamon ones that much.
Liked it.
Like I said, they give me heartburn.
I liked it. But I think it was Jim Beam Apple I was drinking. Yeah. Jim Beam Apple and Coca-Cola, if you mix them together, it tastes exactly like a Brazilian soft drink called Guaraná. Fucking tastes just like it. It was beautiful. Somebody like, what's Guaraná? And some of these energy drinks have it. People mispronounce it as Guaranara. No, it's Guaraná. Fucking that shit's great. You can get that actually, Guaraná. It's Publix.
Yeah, they sell it just in the it's in the ethnic food
It's in the ethnic food. Usually it comes in a green can.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the Brazilian version of root beer. But their version of root beer doesn't taste anything like ours. It doesn't taste like sassafras. It kind of tastes like Sprite with a slight hint of cherry, maybe. Kinda. And honey. It's just fucking delicious. Moved to Brazil and fucking drank that shit another man. Fucking South America and Central America have fucking flavors that North America could never imagine. They got fruit down there that fucking we don't have.
They got weird ass fruit down there.
Good fruit that doesn't make it this far north. God damn. They're drag racing in the damn.
Well, it is Friday night.
Yeah.
So. Very loud.
Both Central and South America have wonderful food. I fucking love it. And some of it's in the cookbook that I made. That Jen made, that was all the shit I came out with. So if you guys want to know how to make Brazilian food, I got it written down in there.
Yeah, we got some Brazilian food in there.
Yeah.
We still got to go to that Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah, we get ready to spend $100 a person.
Well,
It's churrascaria, Brazilian barbecue.
We'll have to do that for like a special occasion, I guess.
You got to go there very hungry.
See, that's the problem.
Very
it's
hungry.
Just kind of like
it's all you can eat.
I can't really eat that much at one time.
Yeah, it's gonna be beef and pork and chicken and fucking man, this shit's delicious. You're gonna love it.
So that's kind of what happens whenever we get a koi wan or ichiban or whatever. It's just kind of like I want to eat all the things, but I can't eat all the things. Yeah. Like I have a plate and then like another. I believe in you. Okay, maybe believing in it. Oh. Reconnection successful. I'll believe it when I see it.
There it is. Okay, it's back.
Is it back?
It's back. Says it's back. We were talking about koi wan.
Okay. So a couple weeks back, we're at koi wan. We got there. We like to get there like not too long after they open because like all the food's fresh, you would presume.
Yeah.
So we get there at like 11:30. Now this one dude was like at a table like over there, like catty cornered from us, and he was there before we got there. He was one dude just by himself. Now, when we got there, and I don't know how long he'd been there prior to us getting there, so he could have been eating a lot more of this. But he was there, and he had a plate with a humongous pile of boiled shrimp on it, like humongous. And he just sat there and, like, very systematically, like, ate all of that. And I was like, wow, look at that. And so then I wasn't, like, watching him. I was just like, I could kind of see him out of the corner of my eye. And then, like, so he eats all that, and then he goes, and then he comes back, and he has this big, huge plate of, I think it was crawfish. Yeah, a big plate of crawfish. And he sits there and systematically, like, eats. And this isn't a fat dude. It was, like, a tall, like, sort of skinny dude. Like, he wasn't skinny, but he wasn't fat either. So he eats this whole fucking thing of crawfish. Then he goes back. And then he goes and gets, like, a bunch of crab legs, or like they have like the cold blue crabs,
deep fried blue crab,
right? So then he had like
how to eat those
whole
things,
platter full of those, and he sat there and systematically ate all of those. He just kept look, dude, I ate like 2 plates, and then I was like, I'm kind of full.
Well, look,
he just kept going back and he might have been eating before we got him. Like, where the fuck is he putting it all?
Well, look, 6 pounds of crawfish.
Holy shit.
6 pounds of crawfish might only yield a fucking quarter pound of meat. It's mostly shell. And it's the same
I know that, but it's like he was eating
crabs.
other shit too.
Yeah.
Because I saw him come back with like plates of other food, and it was like a pile, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I go to those places, it's like I try to economize because I know I can't eat that much, so I'm just kind of like, well, I want some of this and I want some of this, so I just get like a little bit of each thing, so I can have a little bit.
Cam guys talking about Boone's Farm strawberry wine. I don't know why he brought that up, but I got stories about that. Growing up as a kid in California. My mom and all her friends used to take Boone's Farm strawberry wine and mix it with 7-Up.
Yeah, because they didn't have like
they didn't have wine coolers, and that's the way
then.
That's where the wine cooler came from. Came from California, and girls mixing those about 50-50. And as a little kid, people weren't real uptight about little kids drinking.
Yeah, they just kind of saw it as funny.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny.
They drink that, and I said, "Let me have some of that." And your aunt or your mom would say, "Yeah, here, have some." It's just a wine cooler, you know what I mean? And it was, you drink it.
Yeah, I mean, my family weren't big drinkers, but if somebody had beers or something like that, give us a beer. That's hilarious.
Well, it's like that in Europe, I think, even today. It was like that in Brazil.
Yeah, they don't care.
When
it's not going to kill them.
One time, this is my story. One time, me and my 2 neighbor kids, Jimmy and Mike. Jimmy was my age. We were probably about 7, me and Jimmy. Mike was probably about 10. Might have been a little bit younger. Might have been more like 6. Mike might have been more like 8. Sometimes that's hard to know. I think it was probably around 76, which is maybe 7. Yeah, so it's probably about 7. I'd already had a wine cooler. I knew it came out of that damn Boone's Farm jug, and Jimmy and Mike were over at my house, and they saw that jug because their mom drank wine coolers too. They go, "Look, wine!" And I said, "Yeah, let's drink some." So it's a big old fucking glass jug. It had a fucking circle on it, like a, you put your finger through it, like a fucking.
Yeah, it's got a little handle.
Yeah, like a old fucking wine or not. What do you call it?
Like one of those old cartoons.
Like
that
a cartoon.
Like the fucking,
So we're fucking picking a jug up. We're helping each other lift it. It was big. It was like
that's
a gallon.
adorable. Like
like
thinking
gallon,
of like little kids being like,
"Here,
I'll help you."
So we started drinking it in the house, you know what I mean? It's like, here, you get some. You know, just give me over here. You know, really help each other live. We ended up in the fucking front yard on the fucking sidewalk, drinking fucking Boone's Farm wine, waving at the cars. And the cars going by, this is on our block, you know. It was on Jackson Street down in Carson. And I remember fucking adults, like dudes, they were probably teenage guys, really, you know, fucking seeing us out there fucking drinking that shit like that,
look at this
honking the horn and waving. Yeah, you get it.
That's hilarious.
We were fucking blasted.
I mean, hononestly, I'd probably do this. I'm like, oh my god, drunk 6-year-olds? That's hysterical.
Yeah, well, word got out. And fucking, Jimmy and Mike's mom, her name was Yvonne. She came running down the street. Fucking, she took the bottle from us.
God damn it.
She told them to get back in the house. She told me to get back in the house.
Don't drink all my alcohol.
All right. I went back in the house and just fell asleep. I never heard anything about it. My mom knew about it, though. She's just laughing. They were out there drunk. Because, you know, in the 70s, you know, fucking, they didn't have helicopter parents and shit. They just let you run wild. You were like feral children. It was just part of growing up. It was funny. Getting into the booze.
I mean, like, it is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's funny getting into the booze.
Maybe it's not funny if you're a kid, but I think it's kind of funny.
It didn't hurt us.
Like I said, if I saw some 6-year-olds, like, sitting on in the lawn, like, chugging fucking booze.
Yeah, we were helping each other fucking,
I would just stop and take a picture of that shit. Like, I'm like, oh my god, that's hysterical.
We were helping each other tip the jug.
See, that's the best part.
Yeah, because it was like
it was too heavy.
It was too heavy.
So you have to have the other little kid like help you.
Yeah, take it. Yeah, and you're like get underneath it and shit.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. And that's why Tom's the way he is.
It was funny.
Tammy said, talking about the dude that I was talking about at Koi Wan. Yeah. He went to the Tom Ross School of How to Eat at a Buffet. Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking because he seemed very systematic in like the way he was going about stuff, which Tom also is kind of like that too.
I got a pattern that I did.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to. It's weird because when you go to, I mean, we don't go to them all the time, but it's like, you know, we go to like a lot of Asian buffets, and you do kind of have to like strategize a little bit. I found, because what I had been doing at Koi Wan was was doing what you were doing, where I would get like cold stuff first. Like I would get like, you know, the boiled shrimp and like some mussels and stuff like that. But I found that it was actually better on my stomach if I got a small plate of like a selection of like hot things first. Like I'd get like a little bit of pepper steak, a little bit of chicken and broccoli or whatever. And then like the second plate, I would get like all the cold stuff, you know, like shrimp and crab or whatever, like cold crab salad or whatever. So I would get that kind of stuff. It seemed to like work out better because I don't know. I feel like if I ate shrimp first, like I would eat more and then I'd like regret it later. Like I would start feeling really sick because really I can only eat about 2 plates and like Tom will not only eat like 3 or 4 plates, but then he'll like go and get ice cream.
Yeah, shit ton.
On top of it.
Yeah, shit ton of ice cream.
Although last time I didn't get any ice cream, but I did notice that they had like some almond cookies that were like shortbread.
Yeah.
I did get one of those and those were like really good. Yeah. But mostly like for dessert I just had fruit. I just had like some melon and stuff.
Well, it's 10:30. We ought to fucking go and shut this down.
Probably.
Yeah. I got to clean up in the kitchen downstairs, too.
Oh, you do? Shit.
Yeah. Got to put the food away.
Oh, okay.
You want some more calzone?
You got another half of that?
Yeah, it's going to be cold, though.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's good like that.
All right.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Getting a little bit late, and I've been up since probably like 3:30. Like, I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning because I had to pee, and then I couldn't get back to sleep. And then I had to get up at 5. So I've been up since like 3 o'clock this morning, like yesterday morning. So yeah, I'm a little bit tired. So hopefully you guys have a good rest of your Friday evening, and hopefully you guys have a good day tomorrow. And we'll be back on Sunday. I'm not entirely sure what movie we'll be talking about. It will either be Megan, which we watched, or Dreamscape from the 80s, which we also watched, or if we decide to watch Renfield, which I think is on Peacock, then it might be that movie. So it could be like any one of those 3. I'm not actually sure which one we're doing yet, but it'll be one of those 3 probably. So hopefully you guys can come by Sunday and watch the movie review. Thank everybody for dropping by this evening and hanging out with us, and we will see you guys again on Sunday evening. Good night.